From 9 to 11 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop, here on Sports 56. Real sports talk.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
Jason, the main man Marshall's marking down everything on the lot. He just can't help himself.
I love making my customers happy at Gossett Volkswagen on Covenant Pike.
Well, Jason, how you doing it this month?
With deals like this, Randy, choose from 2024 Taos S, 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Take your pick, just $275.96 a month.
Jason, how about Tiguans?
How about 0% for 60 months on 24 Tiguans, plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Cross Sports, and no reasonable offer will be refused.
So hook up with Jason, the main man Marshall at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike, or go online, GossettVWMemphis.com.
Just come see me, Jason, the main man Marshall at Gossett Volkswagen on Covenant Pike, where we're charging forward and charging less every day.
Gossett Volkswagen, 1875 Covington Pike.
All 36 monthly, $7,500 per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Taos, RMO 53314, MSRP 26063. Tiguan, RM 003120, MSRP 30026. Jetta, RMO 48802, MSRP 25506. Cannot combine APR with 3,000 customer cash rebate. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details with approved credit. Dealer stock only. Offer expires end of the month.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time to get up and get your day started.
Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
The NCAA tournament never disappoints. It just never, ever, ever disappoints. Even though I'm probably ready to shred my bracket after day number 1. What a day it was. And we got many more games to go, including 4 right here in the great city of Memphis. We welcome you in to Sports 56 Mornings on this Friday, March 22nd, 2024. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. Their spring sale continues. Factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, patio furniture. Yes, it's patio season. Come by Family Leisure. Check out the new 2024 patio furniture sets, but so much more. 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. And the first hour of the program is brought to you each and every day by East Memphis Ace Hardware. As I did yesterday, I want to welcome all the folks in town that have come to watch their team play at FedEx Forum. You could be driving in still this morning and on your way to FedEx Forum later today. So if you are listening to the show, welcome to Memphis. Currently 54 degrees. Unfortunately, we're going to deal with rain today. 65 for a high, so that's not too bad. But showers a little bit later on this morning. It'll become a steady rain in the afternoon. It will taper off later tonight. So we're looking at tomorrow and Sunday pretty much rain-free. At least that's the projected weather forecast for the weekend. 60 and partly sunny on Saturday, and then cloudy on Sunday. 67 for a high, but again, only a 3% chance. But today we will deal, unfortunately, with the precipitation. Coming up on the program today, obviously wall-to-wall coverage of the NCAA tournament, including some shockers. We always get them. Some surprises. We will talk about that. We'll give you a chance during the show to participate. You want to talk NCAA tournament or anything else that's on your mind in the world of sports, starting in our second segment. Actually, not in our second segment today because John will be with us, but during open segments when we are guest-free, we'd love to hear from our listeners on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. As I mentioned, John Varlas in studio for the first time in several weeks. We will talk to John about what's happening on the prep scene, but also get his thoughts on the NCAA tournament and everything else happening locally in sports. Brandon Lang is back. 9:05. He'll join us in his normal time slot. We hear Brandon each and every week during the football season, handicapping games. Well, he's doing so for the NCAA tournament as well, and he'll give us his thoughts on some of the best plays, not only today but this weekend. 9:05. We'll play 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. That'll be coming up at 9:30. Give you a great chance to win a terrific prize package. So that's the lineup for today as we get you set for the sports weekend and a busy weekend here in Memphis. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am, I'm good, really good.
I got a chance to go over and watch some of the practices yesterday over at FedEx Forum and, just getting back into that swing of things. It's been a while since we had any type of the NCAA tournament here in Memphis. We were supposed to have a regional when COVID hit in 2020. So it's nice to see the NCAA tournament back in Memphis. Hopefully a lot of fans are here. I know it's an interesting group of teams that are here, some really good basketball teams. You just wonder what type of a fan base they have as far as traveling. Houston, for example, Houston's a team that's projected to go to the Final Four, maybe win it all. Do fans go on this trip? Do they want to wait and see? I'll be curious to see what a school like Nebraska, what their fan base will be. We know for football, it's just rabid. For basketball, what will it be as they try to get their first NCAA tournament win? We have the connections to, 3 schools out of Texas with Texas A&M and Baylor as well. Clemson comes over from the Eastern Seaboard. It'll be nice because it's really important for our local economy. I heard that the hotel rooms are pretty much gone, so that's really good news. And hopefully they'll frequent the restaurants, the local establishments, the watering holes, the shops, and bring that boost that we need here in the economy.
Yeah, it's always great to have events like this in town, and certainly hope that there will be a lot of out-of-town folks, and hopefully there'll be a lot of support from the local folks to make it a great atmosphere over at FedEx Forum. You're going to have games basically all day, all night tonight over there with the 4 games, so should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, the first game scheduled for 11:40. That'll be Baylor and Colgate. The game after that will be New Mexico Clemson, penciled in at 2:10. Then the night session, Texas A&M Nebraska at 5:50, followed by Houston, the number 1 seed in the South, and Longwood. That'll be at 8:20. The first game that tips today around the nation is Northwestern and Florida Atlantic from the American Conference. That's an 8-9, Northwestern being the 9 seed, Florida Atlantic obviously the 8 seed, FAU a 4.5-point favorite. They'll tip at 11:15 on CBS. My bracket, I don't know about you guys, my bracket took a hit, lost 3 Sweet 16 teams, 1 Elite 8 team yesterday with the carnage. Zach, how does your bracket look like after day 1?
Oh, we're still intact.
Intact?
Yeah.
You didn't lose anything?
I mean, well, I lost a couple of games.
But nothing where you had him advancing past
yeah, the
one game?
only team that kind of put it in, but it was just a toss-up in my eyes, was Dayton. And that was it.
Yeah, I was on the losing end of that one too, Nevada. Moy.
How far did you have Kentucky going?
First round. I had them winning against Oakland, right?
But you had them losing the next round?
Yeah, and then I had them losing to NC State.
I had Kentucky. I told you all year long, I like this Kentucky team, but to me, it could be a team that runs all the way into the Final Four or loses early. I didn't expect them to lose to Oakland, let's be honest. But just by default, I had them going into the Sweet 16 because I didn't like – I watched Florida against Auburn, and I know you're a big Florida fan, and some others are as well. They're guard-centric. And I watched them against Auburn, and Auburn ate them up. So it's recent bias, right? And it altered my decision making. So probably a bad move on my part. As Florida, we'll see what happens. I think Florida might have a tough time today with Colorado, but Kentucky, obviously the story of the day. By the way, how did your bracket go for day one?
It wasn't certainly wasn't good. Great. I think I had Kentucky and BYU, I believe, both in the Sweet 16. So lost them. I don't think I didn't have anybody in the Elite Eight that lost yesterday, but it wasn't a lot of the kind of toss-up games. I lost, so it was not a good first day.
I went ahead with the thought process of doing what I didn't do last year, pick a lot of upsets, and I did. I picked a lot of upsets, but you have to pick the right upsets. And I got a couple of them right. I got a couple of these 11s over the 6s. I did all right there. I had NC State over Texas Tech. I had Oregon, and they came in red hot, winning the Pac-12 tournament championship. I had them winning, and they knocked off South Carolina, so I was right with those. But I picked so many upsets. I rode the Will Wade train with McNeese, and it wasn't even close.
Told you.
I know. That game was over early. Plus, you know what? Maybe one year I'll actually do a little research when I fill out a bracket. Usually it's just pick. I didn't realize that Gonzaga had won 14 straight opening games in NCAA tournaments, and now it's 15. I didn't realize, and I should have realized, about Michigan State. I was so enamored with Michigan State being a bubble team, and I didn't like their resume, so I was busy ripping them instead of looking at the facts that Tom Izzo is really, really good, and his team is really good. And there's also a stat that if you were highly ranked preseason, like early in the season, and faltered, that a lot of those teams, if they get into the dance, make runs. So I don't know, maybe it was also just regional bias as well, taking Mississippi State and DJ Jeffries. They had a pretty good run in the SEC tournament, got beat on that one by Michigan State. So yeah, I took my lumps. Hopefully it'll be a better day today. But again, the story of many stories, but the biggest story was obviously Kentucky losing to the Golden Grizzlies of Oakland. Now, I did a game, Memphis-Oakland, and I don't know when it was, and I don't know if it was NIT or regular season, but I remember Greg Campy. And I didn't realize, I knew he was around a long time. 40 years. 40 years for that guy. And here they are playing this star-studded Kentucky team. And they get an unbelievable performance from a guy named Jack Golke, who you all heard of before the tournament, right? Everybody knew Jack, right? It was a household name. Not. The guy goes out, hits 10 threes, scores 33 points, and Oakland shocks Kentucky a 14 over a 3, 80-76. That's why we love March Madness. The David Goliath matchups, the Cinderella stories. Just all these great stories that have been accumulated over the years in our memory bank. The NCAA tournament provides that every year. So, Mr. Sankey, as much as I respect you, zip it.
Well, I would guess that Greg Sankey will be pretty quiet today.
I would think so.
It's not a good day for his conference yesterday. He could thank Tennessee for at least trying to save some face for the conference yesterday. But yeah, I mean that the Golke story is like everything that is what the NCAA tournament's about. I mean, it's a kid who transferred from a Division II school, comes off the bench for Oakland, and hits 10 threes in a game. Outscores, when you look at just individual matches. I mean, you got Reed Sheppard on the other side, who may be a top 5 pick in the NBA draft, who can't score at all, hardly, get 3 points. Where this guy, a Division II transfer, who could be your accountant if you saw him on the street, comes in and hits 10 threes off the bench. It's amazing. It's what makes this event so great. And John Calipari, it's tough times for old Cal. Luckily for him, even if they want to get rid of him, they have to pay him a whole bunch of money. But that fan base doesn't take kindly to the way the seasons have been ending here recently, when you're losing in the first round to a 15 seed a couple years ago, losing in the first round this year to a 14 seed. These things don't go. I've heard. I haven't spent any time in Lexington. Never been to a game there. I know a few Kentucky fans, but I've just heard that the Kentucky fan base does not expect to lose to 15s and 14s in the NCAA tournament.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Let me first talk about the positive. And as you said, with Golke, these stories, Fletcher McGee, Jimmer Fredette, those types of players, those shooters that we have seen from time to time in the NCAA tournament just step up. And who knows, maybe in the next round, this guy goes 1 for 13. But last night, he was the king. And I actually equated him to the lead singer from the group Go West, the king of wishful thinking. He looks just like the guy. But last night, he was looking like Steph Curry out there. But as far as Kentucky is concerned, and quickly, you knew it was going to happen, here comes the call for John's head on a platter, and then people quickly showing the fact that he's owed $33 million if they fired him without cause. He's not getting fired. But he's not old, but he's starting to get up there. And he contemplated retirement just a few years ago, and then maybe, I don't know, got a shot of B12. But he's got a natty, and he's going to carry that in his pocket like an ID to get into any place, a get out of jail free card. But they have been underachievers, to say the least, for a number of years now, because it's about the postseason with Kentucky. It's not about what they do in the regular season. That just gets you set up for the NCAA tournament. And as you said, they are not taking kindly to this. There's no way, not Kentucky. $33 million is a lot of money. I mean, they got some boosters there. They wanted to pay it. They probably could, but it's not going to happen. I don't believe it will happen. Now, and I don't believe...
I would not say that with any certainty.
No, I'm not saying it with certainty. Not at all. Not at all. And the other thing is, and I suggested this to my buddies, I said, why don't he just step down? Why don't he just retire? I mean, the things he said after the game, the youthfulness of the... Shut up. You had a senior that led the way. Unlike Memphis, you had some continuity with a guy that had been there a long time that was a leader. He wasn't one of the studs, but he was a guy you can call on. In fact, you called on the veterans, whereas the young players weren't able to step up, and he's complaining about, the youthfulness. You're the one who assembles the team. It's just like Penny. You're the one who assembles the team. So I don't think anything will happen, like nothing's happening here, but you talk about expectations. If you think Memphis Tigers fans have expectations, the Big Blue faithful, whew, I mean, this is just bad. You look at Cal. He's got all the resources, all the money. He's got a staff of like 1,000 people over there. You look into the audience, there's Worldwide West. And, it's like the mafia. But they're not getting it done. They're not. And this kid, this guy who nobody heard of, torched him. Absolutely torched. Could you imagine? Now, I don't know what this guy's status is, what grade he is, how much eligibility he has left, if he has any at all.
There's none.
Okay. Could you imagine if he had it? He went from D2 to this school. What kind of NIL money is he making? Like $1.50, zero, maybe?
Probably zero. He's a bench player from the D2. Like, he's done.
I know. But could you imagine now? Just because he has the ability to do it? And how many times did he hit shots coming off screens, not open threes, not what we saw this year when Memphis would play opponents and dudes would have open threes and they would knock them down? This was a guy who was cutting off a screen because he was moving great while the play was going on, as opposed to standing around, and he would go off the cut, and the guy would be in his face right on him. A lot of times when he made those shots, he was defended pretty well, and he still made those shots. Maybe it was just one of those nights. It probably was one of those nights. But I can't even imagine if this guy goes out there and has, hits 5 or 6 the next game and they win another game, what that dude would be able to get on the open market NIL if he had eligibility remaining.
Again, and this is the reason I've not liked Kentucky all year. They can't guard anybody. Like this team, for whatever reason, refused to play defense. And it's with the talent they have to allow anybody to get, because once he hits a few, they should be able to, they say, this dude's not hitting another shot. You're Kentucky. You've got guys who should be able to say, this dude's not hitting another shot.
They tried to double team him.
And yet they can't. They give up 80 points to Oakland. This team, that's why when we had Aaron Torres on and they were one of his very few teams that could win a national championship. I just don't see with a team this bad defensively how they could put together 6 straight wins, because they're going to get toasted at some point. Obviously, when you look at the guy, for Shepard to have the game he had, DJ Wagner to not score a single point, that stuff that's on the offensive side is crazy. You can't imagine how that could possibly happen. Reeves played like the veteran.
Reeves was great.
And he was really the only one. Dillingham got the double digits, but it took a bunch of shots, and he was bad as well. So, it's crazy to think offensively how limited they were with their guys. But I will not be surprised at all if Cal is out one way or another. I would put it at 50-50 probably at best that he's back.
50-50.
Yeah,
wow.
Two of the last 3 years, they've lost to a 15 seed and a 14 seed. That doesn't go over well in Kentucky.
Oh, I know. In fact, I said it last year. I said I wouldn't be surprised if something happened. That was last year. And now you add this into it. But again, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. There are going to be a lot of people who have deep pockets who'd be willing to make a move, make a change. Because one NCAA title for normal programs is fantastic, but not for Kentucky. And I want to give credit to Oakland. Defensively, they did a good job. They really did a good job. So that combination, maybe again, it was just lightning in a bottle. But for one night, the Golden Grizzlies from Oakland, Michigan, not Oakland, California, were kings of the NCAA tournament. Again, there were a number of surprises. I thought Duquesne, and of course their great story with their coach who coached LeBron James in high school, who's retiring, knocking off a BYU team that was really good in the Big 12. They were good. And they beat them.
Yeah, BYU was, that didn't look like BYU. Again, and this is one of those things, when you have these teams that do rely a lot on the three-point shot, if you have that game, and it could come in any round, where the threes aren't falling, then you are susceptible to being beat at any time. And they were, other than the one kid, nobody could make a three-pointer for them. And then the one guy who was making threes, you get down to the end of the game, and they go 2 straight possessions where they don't let him touch the basketball. Mm-hmm. Which things like that, those things madden me at times. You've got one dude who's actually making shots. He's clearly your best player. He's killing them. And you're in a close game down the stretch, 2 straight possessions. The guy doesn't touch the basketball one single time.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. We had the late game with a little controversy. Kansas, obviously without McCullough. I have them winning just the one game, and they won it last night, but barely. Sanford comes back on them, goes down to the wire. Again, another one of those teams that can shoot you to victories, can shoot you out of games. Sanford was knocking down threes, and they made it really, really tough on Kansas. Again, Kansas is not a deep team. Dickinson, though, did play. I think they're still in trouble. But like I said, I had them winning at least this one, and they barely survived.
Oh, and they survived on a terrible call, a horrendous.
But they didn't blame it. I give a lot of credit to that Sanford coach. He did not blame the officials for the loss.
No, and again, there's nothing he could do about it at that point anyway. But yeah, I felt awful. Because watching it live, I didn't think he fouled him, and then when they showed the replay, it was confirmed he didn't even come close And the Kansas kid's like, I definitely was fouled. Well, no, you definitely were not. I mean, literally, the replay shows there is literally no contact whatsoever with anything other than the basketball. So it's a 5-on-4 situation because he's on the ground because the way he grabbed the rim and went down. I mean, they've got a 5-on-4 situation with 14 seconds to go in the game, down by 1 if they don't call that foul.
Right.
And I felt because it was. I mean, granted, they should have not been down by 22. All of those things that you could say that. It shouldn't be put into the hands of the officials.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with that.
But to make that comeback and then to have that call cost you that opportunity,
right?
I felt just absolutely awful for Samford and for the kid who made an unbelievable play. I mean, that is like to be able to get that block in that situation and do it cleanly is absolutely incredible. And to have the official call the foul, I feel awful for him and for them.
One final game before we take our first break. John Varlas will join us on the other side. There's going to be a lot of orange tomorrow between Tennessee and Texas as both advance. Texas did not look great. I watched that game. I had Colorado State. Of course, Colorado State looked horrible after beating Virginia, which looked putrid. So I don't know about Texas having a chance to beat Tennessee because even though the SEC had a rough day with 3 losses, Tennessee looked good. They absolutely demolished St. Peter's. That game was over 3 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, when they got the offense going, the defense is going to be there. So now you get Rick Barnes versus his former team. We get Dana Altman versus his former team on Saturday. So some coaches going up against places, schools that they were at for a very, very long time.
Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration, they've been with us for a very, very long time. If you have a roofing issue, they will take care of you. They are locally owned and operated. Call Brandon McCullough at 901-438-5084 or go online to newroofmemphis.com. They offer financing, different plans and options to suit everyone's budget out there. 6, 12, even a year and a half. If you want to go 18 months, they can do that as well. They'll work with your insurance company. They'll work out of pocket, whatever it takes to get that new roof or that roof repaired. They do residential and commercial roofing, so business owners and property managers, along with homeowners, if you have a leak or any other roofing problem, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They're licensed, bonded, and insured, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. $100 referral fee for all new roofs. So again, somebody who needs a new roof, they use Pinnacle, you get $100 for that referral. They do work around the home, like carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters. They can put up fencing and siding, install shingles, rotten wood repair. Whatever you can't do yourself, call the experts. Quality work at a very good price. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. Again, call Brandon McCullough. Tell him you heard it here on Sports 56 Mornings, 901-438-5084. We'd appreciate that. All our great sponsors here on Sports 56. We'd love if you use those different services. And then also you can check them out online, find out more about the company at newroofmemphis.com. John Varlas is next in studio. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
It's time to discover your new Kia at Gossett Kia on the Pike. And there's never been a better time to drive off in your new Kia. Make it happen today in a 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG, $219 a month. How about sporty 2024 Kia Sportage LX? We gossip $289 a month, while $34.99 to its signing. And get rugged in 2024 Kia Telluride LX. $429 a month, $39.99 to its signing, all 36-month lease. So call Bobby J to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE72, 39.85, MSRP 22,320. Sportage R724, 7640, MSRP 29,635. Telluride RG 49.9963, MSRP 41,005. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax on license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/1/2024. Dealer stock only.
A new era in public safety begins with you. Be the change you want to see. Join us for the Memphis Police Department Hiring Expo on Saturday, March 30th, 2024, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 170 North Main Street downtown. We will take applications, perform basic testing, and interview candidates on site. Salary starts at $54,611, increasing to $72,000 after 3 years. Free parking will be located at Poplar Avenue and Front Street. For more information or details, visit joinmpd.com.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know: Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood, across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswangerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE72, 39.85, MSRP 22,320. Sportage R724, 7640, MSRP 29,635. Telluride RG 49.9963, MSRP 41,005. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax on license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/1/2024. Dealer stock only.
Hey, it's my man Jeff Allen bringing sweet deals from Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah.
Hey, Randy, I've got a 2024 Kia Forte LXS that gets 41 mpg highway, and you can hit the road for just $219 a month.
That's awesome. What else you got?
2024 Kia Sportage LX, $289 a month. Both 36-month lease and $34.99 due at signing. Or go big in a 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, $429 a month. 36-month lease and $39.99 due at signing.
Plus, get peace of mind with the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
We're online 24/7, KiaMountMoriah.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Traffic has picked up out here just a bit on I-40 over here past Watkins near the 101 connector as it continues to build on 40 West out here at 269 coming in from Fayette County. TDOT's telling us hopefully Sunday at 8 a.m. they're going to open up the 55 bridge. Now that'll help a lot starting Sunday after 8 a.m. Traffic is still moving right now through South Haven on 55 going northbound. Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service family-owned jewelry store right here in the Memphis area. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. Happy Friday to you. 7:30 is the time. Hey, it's Friday. You know what that means. Time for John Varlas.
It's time for Greg and Eli's weekly visit with John Varlas of the Daily Memphian. Check out John's prep sports coverage and more at dailymemphian.com. Now, here's John Varlas with Greg and Eli.
He is the award-winning Daily Memphian prep reporter, but so much more. He's John Varlas. You can follow him on Twitter at, guess what, John Varlas. And he's in studio. We got him in the flesh for the first time in, 4 or 5 months? You've been just traveling up and down the highways and byways of this great volunteer state. How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. It is wonderful to be back with you in person. It is. I think it's been like 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, it's been a long time, so great to see your all smiling faces.
I have to assume that once you got back from your many road trips, that you rushed out immediately and bought a TV.
I did.
You found the wonders of this great invention that we've had, and now you're like, I have to have one of these in my house.
I have to tell you though, sitting, and I'm sure you, Eli and Greg and Zach. I mean, you guys probably have really nice TVs at your home, and I'm sure most of the listeners have these nice setups where you got a big screen and then
sound system,
multiple
all that
games at one time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, once I finally figured out how to turn on the TV in the hotel last week was conference tournament week. So, we get done with the games over at MTSU, and there's not much to do at night, when you're in a hotel room by yourself. So, yeah, you turn on some conference hoops, and I'm watching, I think, Arizona and UCLA in the Pac-12 or something like that, and I'm like, man, what a clear picture. I'm like,
that's what TV's all about?
I'm like, man, it's just like being at the game. And I'm like, wow, Eli and Greg and Zach, they can probably do this every single day. And I'm like, and then it's just, and then when
You're hooked, baby.
Yeah, and then when I get home and back to my regular routine, it's like, I'll just do what I've been doing.
Did you discover running water up there as well?
Like yesterday and today, like day 1 and 2 of the NCAA tournaments, and not have a TV is just like it's mind-boggling to me.
Now that's ironic, Greg, because typically we do have running water, although it was turned off for several hours yesterday, and I got a bone to pick with the condo complex where I live in. These intermittent water shutoffs, I don't mean to disparage, but it's like living in Lebanon or some other place where the infrastructure is not as secure as you think it would be in Shelby County.
What's the reasoning? Why are they doing it?
To work. They send out an email that, and that's the other thing. If you're not checking your emails, from the management company, they'll send out an email at 9:30 and say, well, we're going to shut the water off at 10 o'clock, and it's going to be off until 4 o'clock, and basically you're just SOL
out of luck,
at that point. If you got laundry going, or if my wife had a lot of cooking to do, and all of a sudden there's no water for 6 hours, and it's like,
did she not know it either?
Well, I mean, no, we knew, and
Okay.
we knew because she happened to check. But if we didn't happen to check, it's just like super inconvenient, and it's
How often does it happen?
It happens. That's the thing. It happens way too frequently for comfort. I mean, it happens several times a year, and that's. I think
John,
that's way.
John lives in a little house on the prairie.
I think
Laura Ingalls Wilder and company. No TV.
He rolls down the hill.
He's like, all right, well, no water. Hey, let me go saddle up the horse, and I'll go grab us some.
Don't you have
down at the well?
Yeah, I was going to say, don't you have a working well? You get your water from?
No, we don't have a well. So between the lack of water, the ongoing road construction, and I don't even know what they're doing in Germantown, but they've got every street practically in our neighborhood ripped up for some reason.
That's where a horse could come in handy. Take shortcuts.
Exactly.
And the mulch.
The mulch.
You guys familiar with mulch?
Oh, yes.
So
familiar with mulch.
They got these big trucks spraying mulch all over the place, and it smells
Great
like
smell.
it smells like a horse farm.
Well, I'll tell you, they're getting a little house on the prairie. That's the smells that come with it.
That's the thing. I mean, it's not March Madness in our neighborhood. It's mulch madness, and it's just driving me. The whole thing is driving me crazy. So, long answer to your question, by comparison, Murfreesboro's a bit of a paradise.
Came full circle. I like how you did that.
I did.
That was at least a double bone you picked right there.
Yeah,
so
no,
right.
it's just terrible.
All right.
I'm just fed up with everything as usual.
Finally, basketball's over.
Get off my lawn with your mulch.
I know. Finally,
it's awful.
It is terrible.
It smells
but
so
but it
bad.
does a purpose. It has a purpose.
It is, and the flowers are really pretty.
They're beautiful this time of year.
Now, credit to the city of Germantown. We've got these nice little yellow flowers on all the medians, and they're really pretty. Really these little extra things that make your little community nicer. But the mulch, my goodness, it's
we have razor
awful.
blades in the street. Apparently, I know that firsthand from the other day. Did you hear that story?
No, sir, I didn't.
Drove over something. I was like, "What the hell's that?" It's click, click, click. as I'm driving.
I've done that.
Razor
before.
blade.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Two-sided razor blade. All right, so the basketball season's over. 2 private school championships for the boys. We knew that. That's been a while ago. Briarcrest, FACS. For the state championship public schools, Bartlett made a run with the girls. They came up short for a second straight year. The boys had 5 teams that went to the state, but none of them brought home the championship. They all had great seasons, but they didn't get it done.
Got 2 really close. Got 2 teams in the championship game. Ridgeway right down the street. I mean, man, those guys were fun to cover. Brian Carter. I mean, this young man. I mean, he's a guy that he really enjoyed his state tournament. I mean, he had this little hat, and the best way I can describe it is it was like one of those hats that. DMC from Run DMC used to wear. It was one of those particular style hats, and he also had the kind of squarish glasses to go with it. So he kind of looked like him, but he said it was his lucky hat, and he had apparently bought this hat. Brian did in January at some point, and since he bought the hat, Ridgeway, they didn't lose a game, and he was wearing his lucky hat during the state tournament. They won their quarterfinal game very easily. They won their semifinal game very easily. Great defense. I mean, they just absolutely shut down the two teams they played in the quarters and the semis, and they looked really impressive. They get to the championship game against a really good team from Knoxville, Fulton, which had the Mr. Basketball winner, a kid named Tyler Lee, and these twin brothers who are really good. Taj Kimber and Denaj Kimber. I mean, those three guys are really, really good. And unfortunately, they lost to Fulton and came a little bit short. So a terrific season. Ridgeway, they finished runner-up in Class 3A. And then, Douglas, the great story in Class 2A. They won 35 games in a row. They were super impressive in their quarterfinal, won their semifinal game rather easily as well. And then they get to the championship game against Alcoa, second straight year. They fall behind by 21 points early in the third quarter. They fought back to get it to a 4-point game. The Douglas fans there going nuts. You think it might be a storybook ending, but they just ran out of gas, and they lost to Alcoa in the championship game for the second straight year. So like I was telling Eli before they went on the air, Douglas, since the middle of 2023, they've won 53 out of 55 games. The two games they haven't won were to Douglas in the championship game this year. I mean, to Alcoa
Douglas, yeah.
in the championship game this year, and Alcoa in the championship game last year.
Wow.
They've beaten everybody in front of them since January of 2023 and beaten them handily in most respects, except for Alcoa.
That's just... obviously it's still a great year, but man, that's just heartbreaking to go that far undefeated and then lose the championship game.
Yeah, and Alcoa, again, they had a tremendous player as well, a young man named Javin Carter. He was the Mr. Basketball in 2A, and I think he's committed to Penn State. That kid had an incredible state tournament. He scored 95 points in three state tournament games. So, quick math will tell you that's 33 points a game, 32 points a game.
Almost 32.
Yeah, dude, the guy was incredible. So, hats off to Javin Carter, hats off to Alcoa, hats off to Fulton. Those are really great teams, well coached, got good athletes. And those guys, the game in Tennessee has evolved. The mid-state teams, the teams from East Tennessee, I think it used to be they would see a team from Memphis and they were mentally, 10 or 15 points down on the scoreboard before the game even began, simply because they knew they were playing a team from Memphis. Those days are gone. They know they can play with these guys, and their coaching is excellent. And that's what you get. You get a state championship team when that happens.
Yeah, you hate to hear that people have caught up to you, whatever it may be, whatever walk of life you may be in, that they caught up to you.
Yeah.
Because now it's up to you now. How are you going to get back ahead?
And that's exactly right. I think. And I think it's, I think Memphis is always going to have superb quality of high school basketball. It's always going to have great players, always going to have terrific coaches, in large part simply because it's so much of the culture that's ingrained here. And we're going to have a story posting at some point, hopefully today, that I did on the 50th anniversary of the 1974 state championship team from Melrose, which was the first team from Memphis to win a large school state championship after the TSSAA integrated the state tournament. So Melrose was the first team to do that in 1974. They also went undefeated that year.
Who was on that team?
Alvin Wright, who I interviewed for the story. He's retired. He's living in Texas. The late John Gunn, of course, the late James Bradley. Those were the big three guys. Mm-hmm. And, of course, the coach was Verdi Sales, who's still going strong. And, Verdi Sales is great. He's got his memory is still sharp, and he's always got great stories to tell. So that's going to be a great story. We'll be posting, hopefully, today on the Daily Memphian website, and everybody can read about that. But I say that to say that's the team that kind of started it all. 50 years ago, that team set the standard. And it took a long time, I think, for the rest rest of the state to catch up. But I think now, those teams are playing more or less on an equal footing with these Memphis teams. And like you said, Greg, it's up to our area now to evolve and see what it can do to get back.
One other thing before we take a quick timeout, you were just talking about a legendary coach in Verdi Sales. Another legendary coach, I think it was you who tweeted this out about Buster Kelso.
Yeah.
And what USA Stadium is going to do to honor him.
Well, they've renamed their tournament, and I apologize because I don't have the wording in front of me, but they've changed the USA Classic, I believe, to the Buster Kelso USA Classic or something. They put his name on it to honor him in some capacity. And, Coach Kelso had that legendary career at Christian Brothers, multiple state championships, 1,000 wins, Hall of Fame career. And now he's over at Lausanne helping to build that program with Chris Mitchell, one of his former players. So, yeah, no, it's a great honor. And it's always fun to catch up with Coach Kelso. I mean, he's probably forgotten more about baseball than everybody in this room has ever known, and
for sure.
And the guy's just a treasure, and it's a great honor. It's a great honor to honor these men and women who've given so much to our community, and we appreciate them while give them their flowers while they're still here.
Coming up this weekend, going on today and tomorrow still, and it started yesterday, is the big event over at Genesis Diamonds. It's your opportunity to get a rare, hard-to-find luxury timepiece. It's their pre-owned Rolex event that they've got going on. And during this event, again, it started yesterday, but it goes through tomorrow. You can get special financing at zero interest, and you can get special pricing as well. Plus, with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis is going to give you a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings absolutely free, a $4,000 value. Plus, if you're looking to sell your Rolex possibly or trade it, they've got their folks on site. Their buyers are there offering top dollar for your Rolex as well. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state. Genesis Diamonds, Poplar and Perkins extended their Rolex event going on through tomorrow.
All right, more from John Varlas when we come back. And without a TV, I wonder if he knows what Jack Golke did yesterday. We'll talk to him about that and some other things. Of course, spring sports going on strong around the area. We'll get his thoughts on what's happening in the baseball and softball world as well. John Varlas from the Daily Memphian. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app, or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Jason, the main man Marshall's marking down everything on the lot. He just can't help himself.
I love making my customers happy at Gossett Volkswagen on Covenant Pike.
Well, Jason, how you doing it this month?
With deals like this, Randy, choose from 2024 Taos S, 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Take your pick, just $275.96 a month.
Jason, how about Tiguans?
How about 0% for 60 months on 24 Tiguans, plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Cross Sports, and no reasonable offer will be refused.
So hook up with Jason, the main man Marshall at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike, or go online, GossettVWMemphis.com.
Just come see me, Jason, the main man Marshall at Gossett Volkswagen on Covenant Pike, where we're charging for it and charging less every day.
Gossett Volkswagen, 1875 Covington Pike.
All 36 monthly, $7,500 per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Taos, RMO 53314, MSRP 26063. Tiguan, RM 003120, MSRP 30026. Jetta, RMO 48802, MSRP 25506. Cannot combine APR with 3,000 customer cash rebate. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details with approved credit. Dealer stock only. Offer expires into the month.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place: the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
Yo, Mark, long time no see. You still down at Dyer's?
Man, I'm not down at Dyer's. I'm out at Collierville Historic Town Square.
When'd you move out there?
We've been out there for about 13 years. We've got the shops, the park, we got the train the kids like to play on.
You still cooking those burgers the old-fashioned way?
Man, we're still flattening out those hamburger balls on a slab of marble and skillet frying them the old-fashioned way like they've been doing for 100 years.
Dude, you still have those onion rings.
Man, they're fantastic. Hand-breaded, served up just right.
I loved those milkshakes. Please tell me you're still doing those.
Man, we are hand-dipping those shakes, putting them in the old glass in the shake tin, served the old-fashioned way.
You got any new items out there I need to know about?
We're just doing a lot of gourmet sandwiches. We've got farm-raised catfish straight out of the Delta. We've got some hot tamales from Pasquale's Tamales out of Helena, Arkansas.
Man, are they served in the husk?
What those guys like to say, they're so good, you'll suck the shuck.
Go see my buddy Mark at Dyer's Cafe in Collierville's historic town square.
Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury timepiece is here at Genesis Diamonds. Hi, this is Devir Vanunu, Vice President at Genesis. I want to make sure your Rolex dream come true. This Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Genesis is hosting an epic pre-owned luxury Rolex event featuring a stunning new selection of these hard-to-find watches. Hulks, Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, all the hottest models that people wait years for. These are carefully chosen timepieces in pristine condition. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and zero-interest financing. And listen to this, with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings for free. That's a $4,000 value. Also, for this event, our pre-owned Rolex buyers are on site, offering top dollar for your Rolex. So I invite you to join us this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes. We're at Poplar and Perkins Extended. I can't wait to meet you.
Hey Mid-South, it's springtime, so let's celebrate with the Gossett Mitsubishi Motor Spring Sales Event. Time to go spring breaking with 43 MPG Highway. Do it right with 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett for only $19,110 or $259 a month. Go your own way in style with 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett $30,150 or $449 a month. Or hit the road in 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE $36,165 or $399.99 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
Lodge RH 06614, MSRP 1916, Eclipse RZO 32749, MSRP 30650, Outlander RZO 12807, MSRP 36165. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
John Varlas joining us as he does every Friday from the Daily Memphian. You can follow him on Twitter at John Varlas. All right, so spring sports now in full swing. What's going on?
Well, we're in full swing, but we're still in March, so things are early. A lot of non-conference games, non-region games, non-district games. So we've had a lot of fun matchups already, and of course the usual suspects in baseball are the teams you will want to keep an eye on this year. Jason Mott over at Christian Brothers has a really good squad in the large private school classification. In 4A, I mean that's going to be a dogfight this year to see who gets to the state tournament. Collierville is good, Houston is good, Arlington is really good, and Bartlett has a chance to be sneaky good, and those four teams are all in the same district. So just the district tournament right there is going to be incredibly tough. But any one of those teams is capable of making a really good run to the state tournament. So there, that's in 4A. In 2A, in the small private school classification, North Point is the defending state champion, and they're off to a good start. They actually beat Houston the other day in a really good game. So, there's lots of baseball going on around town, and I will, as best as I can, have the schedules posted on my Twitter account at John Varlas, and I would urge anybody to to go out and check out some high school baseball. It's it's unlike the major leagues where they're really kind of messing up the game we love with some of these rule changes and some of these things we see that just boggle the mind. I mean, high school baseball is still a really, really fun watch, and it's always a good night at the ballpark when you go out to a place like Christian Brothers or Arlington or Houston or North Point. It's a lot of fun. It really is.
Equal opportunity for the girls as far as softball is concerned. What do you got?
Yeah, softball. I mean, our best team is Arlington. Really cool story going on at Arlington. This young lady named Addie Graham. So Addie in 2022, when she was a sophomore, she was our daily Memphian Player of the Year, and her batting average was well over 600.
Jeez.
And in softball, she's what they call a slap hitter. Mm-hmm. So she's not a power hitter, but she just makes contact, kind of like Ichiro, and gets on base.
Mm-hmm.
Every game for her is like 2 out of 3. 2 for 3, 3 for 4. She's really good. She was our Player of the Year in 2022. Last year, junior year, she was injured the whole year and missed the season, but she's back strong. And I think she's even raised her batting average is like close to 800 now, just based on the rough.
Ted
estimate.
Williams of local softball.
Just based on the rough estimate, the coach sends in the box score. He's like, Addie was 2 for 3, Addie was 4 for 5. She had a grand slam the other day. So Arlington's really good. Tipton Rosemark has an outstanding program in private schools as well. St. Benedict looks like they'll be competitive again this year. So yeah, lots of good softball action as well. Track is about to get going good with some of the big local meets here within the next couple of weeks, and of course soccer, lacrosse. It's a really, really busy time of year. Tennis, don't want to short anybody. It's just lots of stuff going on practically every day.
All right, I'm going to put you on a spot here. I don't know if you know. Do you know how many kids who played in Memphis high school basketball are in the NCAA tournament?
There's a bunch. I think it's like I saw a list where it was like 12 or 13 or 14.
It's 14, and that's
like
my Memphis sports fact for next hour. You've 2 Fridays in a row now.
Okay, well then
No, not you.
Yeah.
Him. I think there's 14. That's incredible.
Okay, yeah.
Don't you? I mean, that blew me away.
Like, I know obviously we know it's 14 kids or 14 schools.
I heard it was 14 different kids that are
because like Creighton has multiple. So how many?
Oh, I guess that counts as 2, right? You got Lawson and you have Miller.
And Brock Weiss is also at Creighton.
Oh, so that's 3 of the 4. I think that would be 3 of the 14.
Yeah, and I don't know how much of these guys play.
So who else is there? I mean,
DJ Jeffries. If you're going into Olive Branch,
DJ Jeffries, Cam Jones at Marquette is one.
Does DJ have another? Had a teammate at Olive Branch that plays on that team?
Yeah,
Matthews.
He does. Matthews.
Okay.
So those
Cam
two,
Jones.
They're obviously out now.
Cam Jones is 6.
Jones from Marquette. Mark Freeman from Southwind is at Morehead State, but I don't believe he played this year because I think he had a wrist thing. So I think he missed the whole year. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's quite a bit, but I don't have the list in front of me.
Yeah, many more than I thought. When I heard, I thought it was probably half a dozen. 14. That's a great representation.
No, it's good. I mean, from McNeese State had Antavion Collum last
night.
Yes. And another kid, Jones, I believe, Cam Jones, another Cam Jones. So yeah, I know. There's always going to be. That's the thing.
So a lot of them are out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of them lost yesterday.
Well, and
other than the Creighton kids.
And kudos to you, Eli Savoy, for not drinking the McNeese State Kool-Aid. I mean, that was as obvious as
I drank it,
and I'm not picking.
It's not drinking the Will Wade Kool-Aid. The dude couldn't win with an unbelievably talented.
I don't know why I got caught up with that. Especially, I didn't know the Mark Few Gonzaga fact.
And it's not just you. I mean, I saw 100 different analysts saying McNeese State was the trendy upset pick, and I mean, that was never going to happen.
And like I'm happy I got 2. I picked 2 11s over 6s. They both won. I got 2 upset wins, and then still got clobbered on a bracket because I tried to pick almost an upset on every game. It's just. Do you fill one out?
No, sir. I haven't filled out a bracket in many years, and I'm seeing a disturbing trend now among bracket fillers. So,
what's the bad trend?
You've got these people that'll fill out a bracket, but they'll be like, "This is my serious bracket, this is my upset bracket, and this is my fun bracket, and this is my just throwing crap at the wall bracket. This is my picking bracket based on jersey numbers and nicknames."
One bracket. I do one bracket.
Right,
that's
I know,
it.
but that's not the trend.
Oh gosh,
it's trending away from that, is what I'm saying.
I got a text that Isaiah Jones is a starter on the Oakland team. They just beat Kentucky.
That
Played
name,
at Arlington.
That name is not familiar with
That's
me
what
at all.
I got a text on that says that.
Okay, well, I apologize.
I'll have to double check on that.
Apologize. That name is not familiar to me at all. So,
I mean, that's a game last night that we've been talking about all morning long.
Yeah,
is
so
Oakland and Kentucky, if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm not saying the texter is wrong, but that name is not familiar. That is just not ringing a bell at all. So,
Hey, who was the guy that, and we're just about out of time, Jeremy Hunt brought up the player. Jeremy Hunt was on with us yesterday from Cordova that he said is now started up his recruiting again. He committed to Missouri State.
Oh, the King, Julius King Thetford.
He says is he really good?
Julius is awesome. Do you remember Martavius Newby who played at Ole Miss?
Yes.
So Julius reminds me a lot of Newby. He's a physical guard. He's an athletic freak. He plays, kind of with a little bit out of control, but not quite. Just really, really intense. Hard nosed, but he's also superbly physical. Really, really athletic. Lots of fun to watch. Thetford's a really, really good player. Now, I don't know if a school like Memphis would show any interest in a player like him because they don't seem to be interested in high school kids at all right now, and that's fine. But I mean, Thetford's a good ball player. I mean, he was one of the top scorers in the city. He's a borderline all-state player, and him and KJ Tenner, who's going to Drake, they were the guys at Cordova this year. Both really, really good.
Jeremy said Memphis should go after him. Being an alum,
if they do, that would be wonderful. I don't see it happening, but man, Thetford's awesome. He's a really good player.
By the way, we mentioned because of DJ Jeffries. Olive Branch won a state title this year.
They did.
Are they the only one down in north of this?
Yeah,
but that was their first since the DJ Jeffries team, right?
Yeah, I think so. And also I need to congratulate the homeschool guys, the Memphis Home Education Association, 4 times in a row now, national homeschool champions.
Wow, national champions.
National champions. They do a national tournament in Springfield, Missouri, and our local guys here from Memphis have won it 4 years in a row.
So I'm told Isaiah Jones played 1 year. Came from Nashville, played at Arlington, played for Mo at Arlington.
Oh, now I remember. Yes. Okay. Now I remember him, and that is correct. Yep.
So not unlike, Wiseman came here for how many years? 2?
Wiseman was here for 3 years.
Oh, he was here for 3 years. Okay.
I believe.
Also coming from Nashville.
Because East won 2 titles with Wiseman, and then they finished runner-up that final year. But that could be wrong. I mean, everything gets so.
I thought they won every year he was here.
Well, they finished second 1 year.
Did they?
I believe that's true. Okay. I have to check. It all runs together.
Well, good stuff.
Did Isaiah Jones get his moving expenses paid when he came?
Easy now.
Oh.
Easy now.
Too soon.
Good to see you again, especially here in studio. We'll do it again next Friday.
We will.
John's all choked up about that one.
Man, it's okay.
John Barlos from the Daily Memphian. Make sure to read all his great stories.
We will see you again next week.
Puberty. It's tough.
Eli got you all choked up with that one. Make sure to follow John on Twitter.
Like Peter Brady
and John Barlos.
This hour of the program brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware, corner of White Station and Quince. Go by and see them. For any project you need to get done, they've got the supplies that you need, and they got a great staff to help you find it as well. East Memphis Ace Hardware, corner of White Station and Quince.
All right, more NCAA tournament news, but also plenty of college basketball news outside of the tournament, plus the Grizzlies back in action tonight. We'll get to all those stories and much more in hour 2. We'll open up the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines to you. You can call in or text in at 901-360-8255. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey, this is Eli Savoy, and I've got a question for you. Who wants to pay full retail for a pre-owned car or truck when you can buy it at wholesale? Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, right off Covington Pike, has an unlimited selection of super sharp pre-owned cars and trucks you can buy at the wholesale price. And right now, you can use your tax refund as all or part of a down payment and still just pay the wholesale price. Chevy Silverados, F-150s and Ram trucks, Tahoes, Explorers, Jeep Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, Renegades, a Cadillac SRX, Camaros, Mustang convertible, Hyundais. Check it out. Go to wucars.com or Google Wholesale Unlimited Memphis. This is great. Your money goes a long way when you can buy at the wholesale price, and tax refund time makes it even better. Go to Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, just off Covington Pike, with guaranteed approval. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports 56, and you can thank me later.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE72, 39.85, MSRP 22,320. Sportage R724, 7640, MSRP 29,635. Telluride RG 49,9963, MSRP 41,005. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax on license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/1/2024. Dealer stock only.
Hey, it's my man Jeff Allen bringing sweet deals from Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah.
Hey, Randy, I've got a 2024 Kia Forte LXS that gets 41 MPG highway, and you can hit the road for just $219 a month.
That's awesome. What else you got?
2024 Kia Sportage LX, $289 a month. Both 36-month lease and $34.99 due at signing. Or go big in a 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, $429 a month. 36-month lease and $39.99 due at signing.
Plus, get peace of mind with the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
We're online 24/7, KiaMountMoriah.com.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. I'm looking at this crash over here in the Midtown area. It's 240 northbound, right at South Parkway. It's got it pretty slow now between Norris and South Parkway going northbound on 240 due to this accident. It remains pretty heavy over here and crowded on 240 eastbound up by Poplar as you head up towards Walnut Grove. Traffic's on the increase even more out here in the last few minutes. I-40 East coming across the bridge over from West Memphis. TDOT's telling us they're going to open up the 55 bridge Sunday morning around 8 a.m. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:05, the time, hour 2 here on Sports 56 Mornings, getting you set for the sports weekend, getting you set for Friday action in the NCAA tournament, including right here in Memphis with Baylor and Colgate kicking off things at FedEx Forum at 11:40. It is currently 54 degrees as we get up today to about 65, but rain is in the forecast. Probably a little bit later on in the morning, and then steady rain in the afternoon. It will taper off later tonight, and then pretty much partly sunny for Saturday, cloudy for Sunday, but the chances of rain are minimal with highs. We're looking at 60 to about 67 on Sunday, 60 on Saturday, 67 on Sunday. We are in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. And the second hour of the program is brought to you by our friends at James Gaddis Jewelers. They are your family's jeweler at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. If you are looking for a certain piece of jewelry, if you are looking for that special engagement ring, wedding rings, if you're looking for watches of any type, earrings, pendants, head on over to James Gaddis Jewelers. If you haven't been there, you need to. Stop by. It's in the heart of East Memphis. They've been a part of the fabric of this community for decades and decades. They will buy your gold, silver, your diamonds. You need something appraised. James is a certified appraiser. He's also a master jeweler and a diamondologist. This guy's been graded by the Gemologist Institute of America. So he knows jewelry. He knows rings. He knows whatever piece of jewelry you're looking for. You want the expertise of that type of jeweler with those type of credentials, and that's what you get at James Gaddis Jewelers. Go visit them this weekend. Tell them you heard it here on Sports 56 Mornings. James and the gang will take care of you. 4900 Poplar Avenue between Mendenhall and St. Nick, on the web at gaddisjewelers.com.
The couple of text messages to get to here on these log cabin listener line. One texter says, last night was the only game I watched of Kentucky this year, but defensively they didn't look like a Coach Cal team at all. Now, again, I mean, they were bad. I mean, by their standards, especially, but especially when you just consider the athletes. But they were 115th in the nation in defensive efficiency this year. They were an elite offensive team that really struggled to guard. I mean, they gave up over 100 a couple of different, two different times, I believe, this year. But constantly gave up in the 80s and 90s. Now, part of that is they played a fast pace, but they just were not a good defensive team at all. And that's the one thing that people that kept talking about them as a possibility to win the national championship. I never believed they could stop 6 straight teams, especially when if they got to like the Final Four and you're playing elite offensive teams. I just don't see how they were going to beat them.
Well, look, players have to buy into playing defense. We had Antonio Anderson on at the beginning of the week on Monday talking about the Cal coach team that made the run to the national championship game, and defensively that they were locked in, that Cal stressed defense. Just like Penny has stressed defense while he's been here at Memphis as the head coach. Unfortunately, both for Kentucky and Memphis, they struggled defensively this year. Now, some of that's on the coach because you've assembled that team. I don't think it's a lack of coaching or trying to address that situation in practices. It's more of the players buying into what you want to do, but some of that has to fall on you for assembling that type of team. Dan Wolken, our friend from USA Today, tweets this out. John Calipari and the Kentucky administration need to get in a room and figure out a way to amicably separate. It's too toxic. It's not working. It's not healthy for either side to continue this marriage.
Yeah, I know he wrote an article about the fact that Cal needs to go. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's either a mutual thing, if he stepped down, but I would think there's a very good chance that he is not the head coach at Kentucky next year. Another texter says, Jack Golke made 135 shots this year, only 4 were 2-pointers. Yeah, it's one of the most.
He took 8 2-point shots.
It's amazing when you look at his profile. And he took 347 3-pointers and 8 2-pointers. Like, he is the true, like, you talk about just the hired gun as far as shooters are concerned. I mean, it's absolutely mind-blowing to think. Like, he basically never steps inside the 3-point line to take a shot. I wonder, of the 8 2-pointers he took, like, how many of those were, like, his foot was on the line? He thought he was shooting a 3, but he actually was shooting a 2.
That's a possibility, or maybe they got a turnover and he had a breakaway for a layup. But, yeah, it's pretty incredible. And normally in this day and age, anybody who can shoot the rock like that and is shooting that type of amount of 3-pointers and making a good percentage, you've heard of the guy. I would bet of everybody who watched that game last night, less than 1% of the people knew who that guy was.
Well, I mean, he's a Division II transfer coming off the bench for Oakland. Why would you know him?
Because the amount of 3-pointers he took wasn't that near a record? for three-pointers in a season?
I don't know for sure if it was or not. But again, so what? He's a Division II guy.
Yeah, I understand.
Playing in Oakland.
I understand. But
they're not on TV ever.
For basketball junkies, they look around the country and they look at shooters and they look at different players.
It's not like he shot 50%. He shot 37%.
Which is not bad at all. But he took over how many? 360, 380?
He's at 347.
347 threes. So you would think that maybe that story would be chronicled. But anyway, he was an absolute no-name to everybody outside of Oakland and outside of that Michigan area, that community. And that guy did what he did last night. You also had, in the Oregon game, Oregon knocking off South Carolina 87-73. We keep talking about these great stories of coaches going up against their former team. Is it Jermaine Couisnard for Oregon, who went for 40? That was his former school. He transferred from South Carolina to Oregon, went for a 40-burger in the NCAA tournament against his old team, and Oregon's been on a run, winning the Pac-12 tournament championship and then taking it into at least this first game against number 6 South Carolina. One of 2 teams so far from that 11 seed position to knock off a 6.
Actually,
that's
2? 3.
There's 3. Who's the other
11 seeds went 3-0. Duquesne.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
NC
Duquesne.
State at Oregon.
Yeah, 3-0. The 11s over the 6s.
And then the 11 seed here, New Mexico, is actually favored in their game against Clemson. So, and if they win, there's been an 11 seed that's won a first round game. I can't remember how many straight years it's been now. The 11. That's a very common thing. But
not go 4-0.
But this one, yeah, if New Mexico, as the favorite in the game, wins, then they'll have gone 4-0. But yeah, you had the 40-point guy, obviously the 10 3-pointers. You had Damask from Illinois go for the 10th triple-double in NCAA tournament history yesterday. He was spectacular. There were some pretty incredible performances all around yesterday.
Well, you mentioned the struggles for the SEC other than Tennessee yesterday. The Mountain West, which got 6 teams in, off to a shaky start. I'm hoping that New Mexico can come through. I had a chance to go and do an event that involved a couple of New Mexico players yesterday. I was there. I watched their shoot around. So I'm rooting for those guys. But the Mountain West has taken some punches, some hits here early on.
Yeah, the SEC was the higher seed in the first 3 games they played, and 2 of them were playing double-digit seeds, and South Carolina wasn't really competitive. Mississippi State wasn't competitive, and then Kentucky losing as a 3 seed. It was a rough go for the SEC yesterday.
You're right, a 3 loss, a 6 loss, an 8 loss, but Tennessee, and I had some people text me about the SEC, just like you said, it was struggles, but it doesn't prove that they were an overranked or overrated conference. It doesn't prove anything. Right now, hey, let's see it play out, though. How about if Tennessee wins the national championship? Do you go, oh, man, it was an overrated conference? Well, you got the national champions from that conference. So wait till it plays out, and then you can make a judgment on, and again, it's your opinion of teams that may have had an off night and lost and got knocked out in a single elimination tournament as opposed to what they did over the course of 31 games during a regular season. It's tough to judge just on what happens in the postseason, but I can understand people saying that. It was an awful day, with the exception of Tennessee. That's factual.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, again, tournament results do not determine worthiness at all. They're games.
No.
And things happen. It was a terrible day for the SEC. Has nothing to do with what the year was or whatever, about them being overrated, underrated, nothing. The bottom line it's just like a team's performance in the tournament, if they doesn't necessarily determine their worthiness of being in the tournament. Teams that belong in the tournament have bad performances. Teams that don't belong in the tournament have good performances. This is a game. It's a one-game thing that happens.
Yeah, and you have to have luck along the way. You have to have a good team, but you have to have luck along the way. For example, today, as I mentioned, the first game this morning will be at 11:15. It will feature Florida Atlantic. We know Florida Atlantic, what happened last year with Memphis and the run they made into the Final Four. But this year is different. It's a different year. The American Conference as a whole, the teams struggled outside of the conference with the exception of Memphis, and Florida Atlantic had that nice win over Arizona, but everybody else struggled, and that's why
South Florida was not given any consideration, to be honest with you, maybe a little bit as an at-large, and they didn't make it, and they're in the NIT field. But today you have Florida Atlantic going at it, and you also have UAB going at it. UAB is the lower-ranked team. UAB will go at it against San Diego State. San Diego State was a Final Four team last year. UAB is a 12 seed. If UAB upsets San Diego State, which I picked them to do, and if Florida Atlantic wins, which I picked them to do, which would be I guess, well, it's an 8/9, so they're the 8, so it would not be an upset. But that doesn't mean that we were wrong about the American Conference. FAU and UAB win a game each today. The American Conference was a lot better than we thought. That means nothing.
Correct. It's just like bowl games, everything else. It's like this is the season long tells you. I mean, sets the groundwork. One game in an NCAA tournament does not determine that.
I think we could, by the way, have some really good close games here in Memphis. Now, I don't think Baylor and Colgate will be close, and I don't think Houston and Longwood will be close. But I think New Mexico, Clemson, Texas A&M, Nebraska can be really, really good as I look at the schedule for today. I think they could be two of the better games. Doesn't mean it'll turn out that way, but I feel that they could be two of the better games.
Yeah, I think that both matchups, the two middle matchups, are good matchups that should be close games. I mean, the betting lines are very close on those, and so you would expect them to be good games. I mean, again, you got the 11 seed actually being the favorite in that one, and then when you've got an 8 versus a 9, I mean that should be toss-up games theoretically.
Should be, right?
Every single time. So, I think we've got a chance to have some good action here in Memphis. I will say this: my favorite player, without question, now in the tournament is DJ Burns from North Carolina State. That dude,
big boy.
He is fun to watch, man. It amazes me too how teams continue to try and just guard him one-on-one.
Right.
You can't do it. You have nobody. I'm telling you right now, you have nobody on your team strong enough to stop him.
No, what you have to do is you have to ball hawk the guy. As he backs you down in the paint, other dudes are like spread out and their defenders are staying with them, and he's going one-on-one against an overmatched guy, physically overmatched. Instead, you have to run a couple guys at him and try to knock the ball out of his hands. It's not like he's Curly Neal out there.
He has unbelievable touch around the rim, too. Like, you think it's just going to be he's firing up bricks and he's just going to go try and get it. But he hasn't. I've heard people that have talked about Zach Randolph. Like, it is the way he plays and just the touch he has around the rim, like as this big old bully, but then can go up with soft touch. It is very Zach-like.
Well, they talked about the story, I believe it was him, I was watching it last night, that he grew up and he loved watching, I guess, he's so young, the tape of Olajuwon, that type of center. But then after, realized it was more like Zach Randolph. I think that's who they were talking about when I heard that story being spoken of.
Tiger Steve says, why do I have a feeling Oakland is going to make a run? Your thoughts? I think Oakland is going to get murdered by NC State. Actually, the way NC State plays, I think it's going to be ugly for Oakland. NC State defensively last night was Texas Tech couldn't breathe. They could not breathe. I guarantee you that Burns, Oakland doesn't have an answer for him.
Look, I am not like I'm perfect, because I never am with these brackets. I mean, every year, like first couple days, I'm ready to throw the darn thing away. In fact, last year I threw it away. But I told you about NC State. I told you, and I remember you kind of were critical of them. I said, no, I'm telling you, this is a good team. Watch them make a run if they get into the tournament, but they had to do damage, obviously, in the ACC, which they did. I like the makeup of this team. Keats was going to get fired. The coach was going to get canned, but I still liked the makeup of the team. And I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I could see Steve being right with Oakland coming back and playing another really good game, but I think it's going to be incredibly tough from a physical standpoint. Now, who's the big for Oakland that did a really nice job yesterday against Kentucky? God, what was his name? He was good too. I memean, Gohlke was obviously the star, but the big for them, who wasn't a really huge man.
And that's the problem against
I know.
Burns.
That's the point I'm about to make. If we could figure out his name, he was really, really good. He had great touch around the rim, but he's going to have a tough time physically trying to slow down that guy. So Campy, I'm not sure if he'll throw two guys at him. That's what he needs to do. Again, especially when that guy's down low and has the basketball, you have to ball hawk him.
And I kept thinking that last night Texas Tech would change the way they played him, but they wouldn't. They just kept trying to bang with him and hang in there. And I'm like, dude, you can't. There's nobody can bang with that dude. Like he's 275 pounds, for goodness sake.
Doesn't he remind you of Tractor Trailer? Townsend was the guy last night for Oakland.
Yeah, Townsend's 6'6", 228.
Yeah.
Like that dude has no.
And yet he did a great job inside for Oakland against Kentucky. Because Kentucky, they'd throw the Russian guy came off the bench. Who was their starting big for Kentucky? Then they would bring in Amami Tiro's son, the former Tiger, Amami Tiro's son.
Other dude who what's his?
It was Edward. No, I'm sorry. It was.
You got Bradshaw. You got what's the other dude? Well, Big Z, as you mentioned.
Yeah, Big Z came off the bench. You had Onyeso. Is that how you pronounce it?
I always have to look at his name to pronounce it because it always gets me.
Yeah, and Townsend did a great job, but against this big dude, he's going to have trouble unless they don't allow that. They don't allow those entry passes to the guy and then have him go one-on-one. By the way, today, the largest spreads are the games that you would imagine, the one seeds. Number one is Purdue. They are a 27.5-point favorite in their game. You have Connecticut and Stetson. Connecticut, a 26.5-point favorite over Stetson. Purdue, by the way, is playing Grambling State, who won in the first four in Dayton. So they're 27.5. And then Houston here in Memphis will play Longwood the last game tonight. They are 23.5-point favorites. Well, folks, it's Chevy truck season. All the Silverados you want are in Olive Branch. They're at All-Star Chevrolet. So come get any new Silverado you want. And check this out. Financing is down to 0.09 because your good credit deserves it. Well, maybe it's not a Silverado you're looking for. How about a Trailblazer? How about an Equinox? 1.9% financing. No payments for 90 days. Plus those beautiful Suburbans. The families will love driving around the highways and byways of this country in a beautiful Suburban. Where are you going for Easter? How about this summer? Military, teachers, college students, healthcare workers get an extra $500 bonus when you purchase a vehicle from All-Star Chevrolet. And if you want pre-owned, they have all the Jeeps and Ram trucks. They have the Yukon Denali, the Traverse, beautiful vehicles. And if you don't see what you're looking for on the lot, ask Jeff or Kevin. They're going to find it for you. Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah, not Bartlett or Collierville. It has to be All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Go to All-Star Chevy today or go to allstarautogroup.com. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The 75th anniversary sales event is on at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, and we've got Rock and Ronnie Smith ready to put you in your new V-Dub today.
That's right, Randy. 3's your lucky number. 2024 Taos S, or a 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Your choice. $275.96 per month.
Plus, Gossett Volkswagen Germantown's got 2024 Atlas Cross Sport, $33,999. Plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Cross Sports, and 0 for 60 months on 2024 2024 Tiguan's, but only at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
Come see me, Rockin' Ronnie Smith, and let me put you in your new V-Dub today.
Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or online, GossettVWG.com.
All 36-month lease, 7,500 miles, 20 cents excess mileage. Cannot combine APR offer with 3,000 customer cash rebate. House RMO 53314, MSRP 26063, Tiguan RM 003120, MSRP 30,026, Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506, Cross RC 23156, MSRP 38998. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand bottled, taste tested, sent to a few friends, then taste tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com.
Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
It's time to discover your new Kia at Gossett Kia on the Pike. And there's never been a better time to drive off in your new Kia. Make it happen today in a 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG, $219 a month. How about sporty 2024 Kia Sportage LX? We Gossett $289 a month. Both $34.99 to its signing. And get rugged in 2024 Kia Telluride LX. $429 a month, $39.99 to its signing, all 36-month lease. So call Bobby J to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE72, $39.85, MSRP $22,320. Sportage R724, $76.40, MSRP $29,635. Telluride RG $49.9963, MSRP $41,005. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/1/2024. Dealer stock only.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
It's time to triple your savings with Gossett's Jeep Celebration Event and Ram Truck Month and Dodge Power Shot Days, all at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. How about new 2023 Jeep Renegade Latitude 4x4? We Gossett $5,052 off MSRP. That's Jeep Renegade Latitude $24,988. How about new 2023 Jeep Cherokee Altitude 4x4? We Gossett $33,230. That's $8,000 off MSRP. And Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike has 2023 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon 4x4, $14,000 off MSRP. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett on the Pike, or shop online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Renegade Triple P 56029, MSRP 30,040. Altitude PD 10 3653, MSRP 41,230. Gladiator PL 570 369, MSRP 64,925. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. That earlier crash slowed it down on 240 northbound at South Parkway. All that traffic flow trying to get up from Norris up towards South Parkway. Still running a little bit heavy from that earlier crash. They're telling us they're going to open up the 55 bridge now Sunday morning around 8 a.m. But right now we're having to deal with a little bit of extra heavy traffic at times throughout the day on I-40 coming over from West Memphis. Weimer's Jewelry. They're located 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service family-owned jewelry store right here in the Memphis area. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
A second Memphis Tiger has hit the transfer portal. Jalen Young, who came over from UCF to Memphis this past season, did not get a lot of minutes. Quite honestly, I thought he would be more impactful. He has announced that he will enter the transfer portal, so he joins Jonathan Pierre. So right now, with the Tigers who are eligible to stay and play at Memphis next season, You already have Nick Jourdain, who has announced that he will return. And we still don't know about David Jones, who has 1 year of eligibility left. He could transfer, he can go somewhere else and play, he could stay at Memphis, or he can turn pro. But we don't know that yet. We know now that Pierre and Jalen Young have hit the portal. So the two freshmen from last year, Sharon Font and Ashton Hardaway, haven't announced anything. I would imagine that Penny's going to be able to retain his son. I know it was a crazy year. I'm throwing it out there, but I would think that Ashton's coming back. I don't even think he has to make an announcement, but you never know. And I'm not sure about Sharon Font. And then you have a couple of the walk-on guys, Joe Cooper and Noah Stansbury, with the assumption that Rick's back. And who knows what's going to happen with staff, because Penny usually loses a staff member each and every year. So, yes, there's no question it's going to be a completely different team, just like it was last year when they brought two players back, one being Malco at the last second. It's a revamped team. If you're watching now players jump into the portal, and it's mostly players from teams that are not playing in the postseason, I don't think we've had anybody from a team that's currently playing in the NCAA tournament that's announced that they're jumping into the portal, correct?
Not that I know of.
I mean, why would
not
why
expect
would you?
anybody would. It'd be
Right.
dumb.
Right. I think they'd be stupid as well. But there were people, I think Jeff Goodman, who said, don't be surprised if that happens. Point being, though, even though names that are in there include some really good players who played prominent roles, but the teams were not that good. And then you look at the list, who is at least inquired about those players. Like Memphis is on every list. Penny has a lot of work to do to fill that roster. But now you know that Jalen Young plans to move on from Memphis. Yesterday, SMU fired Rob Lanier. Now, SMU, of course, is leaving to go to the ACC, so good riddance. They won't be with Memphis. But Rob Lanier was there for 2 years. Tubby Smith. 2 years. First year, he takes over the program. They're 10-22. This past year, they improved to 20-13, 11-7 in the conference, tied with Memphis for fifth. Again, still a little bit underachieving for SMU, especially the money they put into NIL. But 20-13 is a 10-win improvement from the year before, and they canned him. They canned him because they believe going to the ACC that they will be able to get a name. So I'll be interested to see who they reach out to and who will be interested, because I think SMU is a fairly attractive job. I'm not comparing it to Louisville, which is open, but SMU going to the ACC becomes a little bit more attractive. But I wonder what they're looking at, who they're thinking of. And I just, Will Wade keeps popping into my head. Will Wade, that's the guy that they may go after, who signed that long-term contract with McNeese.
Yeah, I don't really understand this firing, honestly. I don't. We'll see who they get, but right now, as it stands, SMU is going to be one of the worst teams in the ACC. I'm not sure how attractive that job is.
Will they?
Well, they weren't. They finished tied for fifth the AAC.
I know, but they improved 10 wins from the year before.
That will be one of the worst teams in the ACC.
You would think. But then again, how about if they're able to nab a big name here in the next week or so, and then that coach is able to entice players who are going to jump in the portal. There's going to be many more players once the tournament's done, and they're able to get 2 or 3 of them. And if they do, all of a sudden, you're instantly an improved team that could compete. I'm not saying that they're competing with Duke and North Carolina necessarily, but that they can jump up and make an impact. Look at the teams from the American Conference that made an impact. I'm not talking about Houston, which obviously was the best in the Big 12. But even Cincinnati made an impact. UCF had moments. And then you had BYU, didn't come from the American, but they were certainly a player in the Big 12. Unfortunately for them, they got knocked out yesterday by Duquesne in the NCAA tournament. David is dialed in on the John Calipari topic. David, how are you?
How's it going?
Good.
John Calipari got beat yesterday, right? First round, correct?
Yes.
Did he lose first round? SEC tournament, too?
Yes. Well, his first game, not first round, but their first game.
Okay. I don't understand. All that talent he keep getting in the area, what he doing with it?
losing in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Last he lost in the second round.
Yes, they've won one
You're
game,
probably lost in-
one
you're probably lost
win
in the
in the
first
last
round.
4 tournaments.
And making $10 million a year.
So what do you think they should do, David? They own $33 million.
Well, no, that's why they ain't got rid of him because they own so much money. That's why he's still there.
It's
But
stale, isn't it? The whole thing is stale with Calipari. You're Kentucky. You're a blue blood. I mean, an ultimate blue blood. You got to start thinking about the future in a different direction, I would say.
He won a championship in 2012. 12 years ago, that time he won a championship.
Yep.
That's unbelievable. But they don't talk about it.
What do you mean? That's all they're doing is talking about this.
Oh,
They were
I
talking
know
about
that.
it last year. They're talking about it. I mean, it's every story. If you go on any site, sports site.
Okay, go ahead. I didn't know that. Okay.
I guarantee you there's people up in Lexington today that are trying to figure out where they can come up with $33 million or if they could get him to take less or whatever. I guarantee you it is being talked about. How do we get rid of this guy in
Can you chip
Lexington?
in, David? Can you chip into the cause?
He lost a 14th seed yesterday.
And they lost a 15th seed 2 years ago.
Yeah.
15 seed yesterday.
Oh, I know. We know the resume here. It is not good here recently. Not good at all. All right, David, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I mean, he's reiterating what's happened. I didn't know what point he was making other than I guess he was assuming that they should go in a different direction. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, now, I hope people aren't going to call in and say, well, you know, Penny didn't get in the tournament, but look, Calipari got in and they lost the first round. Well, he's got a natty. He did win a national championship, albeit 12 years ago.
And he also got to the tournament.
And he got to the tournament. Yeah. So I didn't know. I didn't know if we're getting a roundabout way of
If you're
getting
trying
that
to
in
compare
there.
that, that's a dumb comparison. I mean,
Right, right.
And that's like Memphis fans who joke about it. I get it. Like you don't really like Cal because he left and all that stuff, but like he's still accomplishing a hell of a lot more than your basketball program.
Right, and we're talking about him, or at least you suggesting, Dan Wolken and others, that they should figure out a way to move on from Cal. Again, you don't want to eat $33 million, but in the SEC, if you're a member of the SEC, at least you got a little money to fall back on. But you know, it's interesting because going back to Rob Lanier, 2 years at SMU. That's all he got was 2 years at SMU. 3 guys have been fired from jobs in the American Conference this year. The Rice coach, which Memphis lost to. The SMU coach, which Memphis split with, got clobbered in the second one. And then UTSA's coach, and Memphis won in overtime over them. So Memphis didn't even fare that well against those teams who got rid of their coaches. But 2 years is ridiculous. But this goes back to here in Memphis with Tubby Smith. Those 2 years, I mean, that was an interesting short tenure because you had Penny waiting in the wings and everybody was ready for that move because Tubby was kind of, you know, he was here and he wasn't real prevalent in the community. They won some games, but they weren't going to the tournament. People thought he was just collecting a paycheck, living off his laurels of winning a national championship. We liked having him on the show. I mean, he was a great basketball mind. He knew the game, but certainly people were ready to move on and bring in something new. Well, at Kentucky, I can't imagine that they're not ready to move on. It's not their money and not their decision. But as we started the show, talking about that latest debacle.
Well, some of them, it might be their money and their decision.
Well, that's
I don't know what those people. That's I don't know what the big money people at Kentucky feel about Cal, but I would assume that maybe there's some that still support him. There's certainly got to be at least some that say this ain't working.
No, you're right. And I was talking about the average Kentucky fan out there. But yes, the deep-pocketed big boosters, there's no question. I'm not sure which way they're going, which way they're leaning. I'm just saying that those guys and gals that have that power, have that clout, they can alter a decision, right? They can make something happen. The regular layman out there who's the Kentucky fan that's going on message boards and screaming about things, they get screamed to their blue in the face. That ain't going to make the difference. It's what those boosters think and want to do.
And again, I would assume that there's a lot of conversations being had in Lexington this morning, probably amongst those big money people, about just where they are and what they could do. Because I had one tournament win in 4 years, the last 4 tournaments, and losing to 15 seeds and 14 seeds. They're not going to accept that. That's just not going to happen. Not at Kentucky. So, I would not be surprised at all. And it may be announced as any one of a retirement to a mutual parting of ways to he's fired, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's not the coach next year.
I'm going to bet that nothing happens, but I wouldn't be shocked if it did because of the things you said and the things we've talked about. By the way, I got 5 syllables for you. 5 syllables. Keisei Tominaga. Are you ready? Do you have Keisei Tominaga fever? The Nebraska star.
You can't count syllables very well, but
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Oh, no. Naga. 6. Keisei Tominaga. You're right. 6. You got the fever?
No.
Why not? You know how many cameras are going to be on site from the Japanese media following this kid?
Well, the ones that are here normally for you to Watanabe can just.
They've left, haven't they? You've just been hurt. They still here?
I'm sure they're still here. They follow him everywhere.
Gosh, bless it. Anyway, Keisei, if you don't know who I'm talking about, is a incredible shooter for Nebraska, a Japanese player, doesn't speak much, if any, English, but he will be here. He is here and hoping to lead Nebraska to their first ever NCAA tournament win. They have not won a tournament game ever. They'll try to do so against Buzz Williams and Texas A&M. That'll be the first of the 2 evening games tonight, the evening session at FedEx Forum.
Doug Texas says DJ Burns played at Tennessee his freshman season. When I see a DJ Burns, he played 3 years at Winthrop and now is 2 years at NC State.
Let me see if I can find anything.
Did he redshirt a season at Tennessee?
Did they recruit him? Yeah, he was at Winthrop. Played in the Big South Conference. He's out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Boy, South Carolina produces basketball players, don't they?
So unless he was at Tennessee, maybe he's at Tennessee, but he didn't play. But yeah,
well, I would think they would list it, right? Oh no, he's right. He's right. Burns redshirted his freshman season at Tennessee.
Okay, so he redshirted. So he didn't play.
Yeah,
he redshirted.
But he's right. I mean that's news
he
to me.
Played at Tennessee.
Okay,
okay.
He's not right about that, but he's right about Tennessee. I had no idea there was the connection to Tennessee. He redshirted his freshman season at Tennessee, where they said he lost a bunch of weight, and then following the season he transferred to Winthrop, received a waiver for immediate eligibility.
Boy, if you put him on this Tennessee team, holy cow!
I mean, the backup big guy they have at Tennessee. What's his name? The Hispanic guy.
Hispanic guy.
Yeah. What's his name? I think he's Hispanic. I mean, the guy came in and he was really good, really gifted. You know what I mean? He reminded me like of Santi Aldama. Estrella? Gosh, and I got to look that up, man. Tennessee fans know who I'm talking about.
Hispanic guy. Because you got Meshack that comes off the bench. Awaka comes off the bench.
Of course, I get the circle of death. I can't get to my my internet here, but I'll get it after we come back. I'll tell you.
There can't be anybody that plays much.
No, but the guy played last night. And
okay.
Yeah, he played. It was a blowout. He played, and he's tall, and he can block shots, and he's got skills. I was just thinking about, because you were talking about how deep they'd be if they had him, Burns, how deep they already are with that Tennessee team. But again, the caller was, their texter rather, wrong in the sense that he didn't play, but he was there at Tennessee before going to Winthrop and now on to NC State.
Well, the NCAA tournament action going on. When you want to watch all the action, the place to go, that would be East Coast Wings and Grill. Once again today, they'll have all of the games on all the TVs all around the place while you get to enjoy great food and great drinks while watching those games. Of course, the menu includes 60 flavors of wings to choose from, great burgers and other things on the menu as well. Plus, you got 24 draft beers on tap. Of course, with the games going on all day, that means they're going on during happy hour. So you could take advantage of the happy hour deals like 2 for $1 on the draft beers, bucket specials, and more. That's from 3:30 until 6. So can't beat that deal while getting to watch the games over at East Coast Wings and Grill. Located just off Highway 64. Kate Hyde Boulevard runs right between Lowe's and Walmart, and that's where you'll find East Coast Wings and Grill. If you're watching the games at home and want to get some wings, well, you can get them delivered via DoorDash. You could go pick them up, and you can order online at eastcoastwings.com to go pick them up yourself. However you want to get them, they've got a special deal. This is great if you're watching the games at home. 25 boneless wings and their homemade chips for $29.99. You can get that deal. Take advantage of that to watch the games at home. Kind of cater your little watch party at the house with some great wings from East Coast Wings and Grill.
J.P. Estrella. He played 8 minutes last night. He went 2 for 4, had a rebound, and scored 6 points. But really tall and lanky. I'm assuming, I might be wrong about that. I thought he was Hispanic. I think he was born in the States, but I think he has the heritage, Hispanic heritage. So Estrella was a guy who came in. Rick Barnes was able to clear the bench and play a lot of the guys. By the way, the guy I was talking about, the Japanese player from Nebraska, Tyler Springs, tells me he does speak English. He did an interview with him. So that information I got was wrong. He does speak English, and that is fantastic because he's going to be a fun guy to watch tonight, and if Nebraska wins on Sunday as well. We'll take a quick timeout, come back, wrap up hour number 2. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Building. They keep you moving.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South, but size isn't their only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Gold membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for unlimited range time, free gun rentals with purchase of ammo, and members lounge access. Top Gun, 2770 Witten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always shoot with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
Hello, Memphians. Wake up each and every Tuesday morning weekly to Cup Club Early Morning Show. Cup Club Early Morning Show each and every Tuesday morning weekly, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. right here on AM 56. Hosted by former Arkansas State Red Wolves Hall of Fame fullback Ricky Jemison. Enjoy special guest interviews, top sports local, nationally, and Monsters Game Pro Football League updates. Cup Club Early Morning Show right here on AM 56.
Hey, this is Eli Savoy, and I've got a question for you. Who wants to pay full retail for a pre-owned car or truck when you can buy it at wholesale? Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, right off Covington Pike, has an unlimited selection of super sharp pre-owned cars and trucks you can buy at the wholesale price. And right now, you can use your tax refund as all or part of a down payment and still just pay the wholesale price. Chevy Silverados, F-150s and Ram trucks, Tahoes, Explorers, Jeep Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, Renegades, a Cadillac SRX, Camaros, Mustang convertible, Hyundais. Check it out. Go to wucars.com or Google Wholesale Unlimited Memphis. This is great. Your money goes a long way when you can buy at the wholesale price, and tax refund time makes it even better. Go to Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, just off Covington Pike, with guaranteed approval. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports 56, and you can thank me later.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis, right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
To reveal the full spectrum of its dazzling color.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Coming up in hour number 3, Brandon Lang will join us. He's back to make some NCAA tournament picks. We'll have 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. That'll come your way at approximately 9:30. From the NBA, the Grizzlies in action tonight. They'll play at the Spurs. Grizz at 23-47. The Spurs at 15-54. So the Grizz will have 12 games remaining, 11 after tonight. I did not realize this. I know that they've had recent success against the Spurs after being blitzed for so many years with Greg Popovich and those great Spurs teams. They've won 12 straight overall against the Spurs.
Spurs been pretty bad.
They have been bad. But still, you figure you throw in a clunker every once in a while. 12 straight wins for the Grizzlies over the Spurs. Tonight, of course, will be Victor Wembanyama again in action. Anytime that guy plays and I can watch, I want to watch. I mean, I knew how good he was going to be, so he's as good as advertised, but I think he's even better than advertised. That's how good he is. Taylor Jenkins, of course, spent 6 seasons with the Spurs organization, joining them back in 2007. So there's that relationship he has with San Antonio. Again, it's a game tonight in San Antonio for the Grizzlies.
And Desmond Bain probably not going to play.
Just rest? Or
back soreness.
Oh, here we go.
Doubtful with back soreness.
But as long as G.G. Jackson's playing, he has been electric the last several games for the Grizzlies. By the way, the NBA yesterday announcing that they're shutting down the G League Ignite team after this season. It launched in 2020.
Yeah, this was obviously coming once NIL made its way into college. There was, it really takes away any purpose for the G League Ignite because guys could go make money playing college basketball. They don't need an outlet to go make money. So, this not a surprise that we would get to this point with the Ignite.
Yeah, but I would imagine there's still players that would want to skip the whole college thing, even with the NIL, don't want to do the classes, don't want to do the workload, and they rather just turn professional. And they could still do that, but they don't have the option, to play in this G League Ignite or with this G League Ignite team, which I thought gave them a lot of great exposure. Sometimes it exposed players, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. So that's out the window now. That is done after this season. Also announced that ABC will be airing the NBA Draft Lottery this year instead of ESPN. It'll be a Sunday afternoon show at 2 o'clock Central. So 2 o'clock Central, the first draft lottery on ABC since the LeBron draft back in 2003.
And the Grizzlies will be a part of it.
The Grizzlies will be a part of it. That's something that I guess people are anticipating, right? There's not much else to look forward to other than Marc Gasol, the jersey retirement. That's going to be a big night. Still have a couple visits from the Lakers. You still have a visit from the Denver Nuggets. What game is the Gasol jersey retirement is what game?
April 6th.
And their opponent is?
The 76ers?
Yeah, 76ers. So, Nick Nurse.
Oh, okay. The connection with Nick Nurse. But Embiid is not expected back until the postseason if he comes back at all, right?
Right.
He's not going to be back for the final regular season games for the Sixers.
You would hope so.
Huh?
I said you would hope so he'll come back for the final regular season game.
Yeah, but is that the game plan? I thought it was going to be not until they start actually the playoffs.
I
don't think they know at all.
They probably don't know.
There's probably a good chance he doesn't play at all.
That's what I had said originally, but I'm not a doctor. I'm just, I know what they had said as far as when he would be reevaluated, but I thought, man, you're able to come back from that. I thought, that's probably impossible to do so. But modern medicine, you never know. Folks, those of you who are in town for the very first time, and of course those who live here know all about Dinstall's Fine Candies and Chocolates. They are a Memphis institution, just like Gibson's Donuts is. If you're looking for a sweet treat, Dinstall's has been around for 122 years. So, folks, if you're listening to our sports show, you're in town for the NCAA tournament, you want some delicious chocolate. There's nothing like it. Head on over to Dinstall's. There's 5 locations in the greater Memphis area that you can go to. That's Laurelwood, which is in East Memphis, Germantown, Collierville, Pleasant View, where the factory is, where they make the chocolates. And then that's close to Bartlett. And then downtown Memphis for these fine candies and chocolates. Spring is here. Easter right around the corner, right next weekend. Dinstall's has all the treats to fill your baskets, from coconut nest eggs to marshmallow eggs, chocolate rabbits to the award-winning fudge sucker. Hop on over to your favorite Dinstall's today. Select from the beautiful array of hand-picked or hand-packed Easter baskets to make this celebration one to cherish, or make one your own, right? They can put one together for you. You want to have these chocolates and candies shipped anywhere around the country, they can do that for you as well at Dinstall's. Dinstall's Fine Candies and Chocolates, a Memphis institution for over 122 years. Coming up, we open up Hour 3 with the one and only Brandon Lang. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Don't let the name Sunrise fool you. Sunrise on Jefferson and Sunrise East on Poplar don't just make one fantastic breakfast. They're also the best choice for a fast, fresh lunch made just for you. Chain restaurants are focused on getting you in and out as quickly as possible. Sunrise wants to make sure that after you've enjoyed your lunch, you'll be happy that the crew at Sunrise genuinely cares about you. Not in a weird way. They care that your burger or BLT or Dirty Bird are exactly the lunch you were craving. We've said it a million times. Don't settle when there are 2 locations of Sunrise just a short drive away.
It's time to discover your new Kia at Gossett Kia on the Pike. And there's never been a better time to drive off in your new Kia. Make it happen today in a 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG, $219 a month. How about sporty 2024 Kia Sportage LX? We gossip $289 a month, while $34.99 to its signing. And get rugged in 2024 Kia Telluride LX. $429 a month, $39.99 to its signing, all 36-month lease. So call Bobby J to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE72, $39.85, MSRP $22,320. Sportage R7, $24,7640, MSRP $29,635. Telluride RG, $49,9963, MSRP $41,005. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax on license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/1/2024. Dealer stock only.
If you love sports and Mexican food, you can get the best of both at Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill on Summer near Graham. Watch all the big games on all the big TVs on all the walls at Los Cabos, and enjoy premium tequila shots anytime for just $5.50. Celebrate every day with lunch specials from 10 to 3 and happy hour from 3 to 8. Lunch is just $6.75 to $10.99, and margaritas start at $3.99. Experience real Mexican cuisine along with great sports at Los Cabos on Summer near Graham.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at lawnsolutionsinc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Building. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It remains slow over here on 240 eastbound as you come past Bill Morris Parkway all the way up to Walnut Grove. Traffic's on the increase in the last few minutes coming down I-40 over here at Germantown Parkway all the way to Whitten Road. It's better now in the Midtown area on 240 north where we had that earlier crash near South Parkway. They continue to work on 55 on the bridge. TDOT's telling us they're going to try to open it back up this Sunday morning at 8 a.m. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services here in Memphis. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:01 the time. Final hour for us today here on Sports 56 Mornings. In fact, our final hour this week, getting you set for the sports weekend. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd with you on this Friday, March 22nd, 2024. Broadcasting live from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, it's where family and fun come together. Their spring sale continues. Factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, patio furniture, and so much more. 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Again, weather-wise today, as I've been talking about all morning long, we're going to get rain. The rain's coming soon. I looked outside here, outside of our studios. Still no rain yet, but it's getting dark. We're looking at 55 degrees currently, a high today of 65, but rain in the forecast, so act accordingly. If you're heading down to FedEx Forum, remember you have to have the clear bags to bring inside, but also you may want to bring an umbrella to get to FedEx Forum from your parked automobile because, again, it's going to rain later this morning, it's going to rain this afternoon, and it's going to rain into the evening. And it should be pretty steady rain this afternoon. So it's going to be a wet Friday. Things will taper off later tonight. Then tomorrow we're looking at partly sunny, high 60, and then cloudy for Sunday with a high of 67 degrees. Again, welcome to everybody who's in town for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, again, should be a fun day down at FedEx Forum. These are always great and get to see 4 games in one day down there. And because, of course, a couple more coming up on Sunday. But hopefully we get some good close games and some exciting action and everybody has a good time. The rain, I was looking at the radar, trying to get the radar come up. Looks like we're avoiding the rain for a while.
So what does your expertise say? When's it coming?
Well, a lot of it's breaking up as it's moving towards us. So I don't know. We'll see if it continues to do that or if it how much actually gets here. But there's a lot of it that seems to be just looking at the radar that because it's coming from the south to the north, and it seems like a lot of it is breaking up before it gets up here. So hopefully that continues to happen and we don't deal with much rain at all.
Well, in just a moment, Brandon Lang returns. Of course, we had Brandon on each and every week talking with us about college football, about the NFL, and now time to talk to him about the NCAA tournament.
It's time to handicap this week's action. Joining Greg and Eli is sports handicapper Brandon Lang, subject of the movie Two for the Money.
It's P equals P. You walk into a strip bar and you let her take your hand and drag you into that champagne room. Pressure equals problems. You just can't do it. And I'm telling you, pressure equals problems in the NFL.
Get Brandon's plays at BrandonLang.com.
There's 4 things you can't handicap in sports. There's 4 things. Penalties, turnovers, player stupidity, and coaching stupidity. What are they smoking?
Also, listen to Brandon with Clay Harbor and Cam Rogers on the Believe Podcast Network.
You're on a dating app, and they don't show a body picture. Run! Run!
Now, here's Brandon with Greg and Eli.
Life is good. B. Lang is back, baby. How are you, Brandon?
Boys, life could not be any better. We've kept the long-distance relationship going with my girl, and so now we're down to the nitty-gritty where in 3 weeks I'm moving to New York full-time. We'll be able to be together every day. It's just...
Whoa,
it's just,
what?
Yeah, we're moving in together in New York. So it's for the next 13 months, and then we're going to figure out what we're going to do after that. So we may go down to Bali and open up a little bake shop. She's going to cook, her favorite things, and I'm going to make my famous chocolate chip walnut cookies, and we're just going to, chill.
She's domesticating you?
Wait, chocolate
Wait a
chip
minute.
walnut cookies? Is
Sounds
that
great.
Listen, I make ungodly, two things I make that blow people away. I make ungodly waffles from scratch, my grandmother's recipe, and I've gone to people's friend's office and made waffles for them, and people go bonkers. They're just phenomenal. So I would do waffles in the morning and a little breakfast, and just like a waffle plate with eggs and bacon, nothing extravagant. And because the waffles sell themselves, she's going to bake all day, and we're just going to, we're just madly in love.
I'm trying to figure out why you're throwing walnuts in to ruin a chocolate chip cookie.
Because they're good. Walnuts are good.
It's just,
There's some other special ingredients you could toss in there to make them better.
I would do chocolate chip by themselves, and then I would do walnut. I would have because there are people that are allergic to nuts.
So back to the point. She's domesticated you. I didn't think anybody could lasso the wild stallion that is Brandon Lang, but she has done that.
Oh no, I think you get the feeling, during football season with the slap game and stuff like that. That we're domesticated. But we're a pretty happening couple. Let's just we're not going to go any further. But that aspect of our relationship is off the chart.
All right. You're talking about baking and all that, so obviously
as far as just getting in the kitchen and hanging out and cooking together and stuff like that, it's really, really cool. And it's just, it's you go through stuff in life to meet that special person at whatever time you meet them. And in this case, to ride off into the sunset in the 4 years of my life, being 61 in the next 10, 15 years, it's the biggest blessing on the face of the planet.
I'm extremely happy for you. It's become too sappy, this segment, but I'm extremely happy.
No, this segment will never.
Do you like the idea of living in New York, though? Like, I couldn't live in New York in a million years.
In the Hamptons. Big difference from the city.
Okay.
In the Hamptons?
And then
Billy Joel, your name?
Am I going to start seeing you on Summer House?
No, but then let's also understand that it can't be sappy. We basically did everything and say that she was a dominatrix. And
That's true.
When she hit her all football season long, when she hit her game, which went 14-2, she basically got to dress up as a dominatrix and dominate me for 30 minutes. That's essentially what the whole football season was about. We went from the slap game to the paddle game to the belt game to the paddle game. I mean, we went deep. We went a little dark. So you're going to try to tell me in this segment
you're right.
That we're sappy? This segment will never be sappy.
I didn't say you guys were sappy. I go, I'm talking about just today. A little melancholy. Let's get it fired up.
If you think next football season we're not going to take it to the next level, I'm not saying Pulp Fiction ball and gag territory. We'll never go there. No, because everybody saw Pulp Fiction. Everybody saw Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Right? It's one of the greatest movies ever.
It is indeed.
I'm not saying something that like painting a picture of the whole Gimp scene. And it's the great. I'm just saying it's the greatest scene in the movie because 5 seconds ago Marcellus Wallace wanted to kill Bruce Willis. And he wanted to kill him. And so now he saves him from that nonsense, and he goes, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "No, I'm pretty far from okay based on what just happened." And Bruce was like, "Well, that's great, but what now?" Like, what now? He goes, "What now? I'll tell you what now. There is no what now." And then Bruce Willis, between me and you, and Bruce Willis goes, "So we're cool.
We're cool,
You
right?
wanted to kill me 5 minutes ago." He goes, "Yeah, we're cool. 2 things I ask. 1, you don't tell nobody about this. This between me and you, and soon to be living the rest of his life in short blank pain, Mr. Rapist here, and you leave town tonight." Now that's so well written.
And then he said, "We got the meat."
Yeah, he goes. I mean, it's one of the greatest. It's visually pretty frightening, but it's one of the greatest, most well written
scripts ever. So I'm not saying my girl and I are going to go ball and gag whatever, but it'll be the paddle game. We'll keep the paddle game going.
The reality show, because you're eventually going to get a reality show, should be Slap in the Hamptons. Slap in the Hamptons. I got your name for your show. So we're a little reality. All right, listen.
Well, it could be liquored up, strap it on. Who knows?
No.
So.
That's for the adults out there.
Okay, so now let's get to Ohtani.
Yes, I was about to lead into Ohtani. So what is going on?
So here's the true story, and I can say this because I have firsthand knowledge and firsthand information of it. 3 months ago, my best friend played golf with Bauer. Bauer was thinking about becoming a member at this club.
You talking about Trevor?
Played golf with him. No, Bauer, the bookie. Ohtani's bookie.
I was like Trevor Bauer. All right, okay.
So my boy calls me and goes, "Do you know some big bookmaker out of Orange County named Matt Bauer?" And I said, "Yeah, I met him like 6 years ago in passing in Vegas." I said we didn't sit down and have lunch or anything, but I was walking through the Wynn and he was there, and we just kind of in passing. My friend knew his friend. He said, "Hey," and he knew the movie and whatever. But I said I met him. I know who he is. He goes, "Dude, I just played golf with him." I'm like, "Yeah, that's 3 months ago." And my boy goes, "Who's his biggest?" He's been a bookie forever. He's one of the biggest bookies on the West Coast. He goes, "Who's your biggest client?" And Bauer looks right at my boy and says, "Shohei Ohtani." And my boy goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, and he's into me for quite a bit." And my boy goes, "How much?" He goes, "I'm not going to tell you guys on air what the number is, but it's not $4 million. It's between 10 and 25, and I'll just leave it at that." This is 100% validated and documented because my boy don't lie. And I think my boy might talk to Stephen A. today. I don't know, but so I'm like, I'm going to talk about it. So
we're breaking news here. Are we breaking news on this show?
Well, no, you're not breaking news because now when I tell you how it all went down, it'll make sense.
Okay.
So when the feds raided his place, they got his phone, took $11 million of his crypto, took basically everything, and they got in his phone, and they said, "Ruh-roh, what's this?" And Bauer came clean and said, "That's my client list, and that's the Japanese stuff is Shohei Ohtani. He owes me X amount." So the feds went to Ohtani's people and said, "What's this?" And here's how they spun it. And they were prepared for it because once Bauer got busted, they knew, ruh-roh, this could potentially be a problem. And so they said, "Listen, Ohtani doesn't speak English. You have no proof there that Ohtani ever spoke to this bookie or ever put a bet in. He only does things through his interpreter, and he doesn't speak any English whatsoever. You have no evidence whatsoever that my Ohtani, what happened here was that the interpreter has been betting sports, and the interpreter stole money from him, and the interpreter's been betting games, and Ohtani tried to help him out and pay off a little bit of the debt, but this is theft here. This is complete theft. It is 100% the interpreter taking the fall. But don't you think for 1 second that it's not 100% Ohtani. If you want to try to sell to us that this little, meek, submissive, 5'4" bookie is going to have the balls and cojones to steal money from Ohtani and first of all, does he look like he bets sports? Does he look like he bets sports? Yes or no? No, he looks like he should be working at Benihana's.
Well, he's an interpreter.
So that's my point.
There's a lot of people that look at various ways that bet on sports.
No, the biggest question would be, how does an interpreter have $4.5 million, which is being reported?
That's why he's got to get Ohtani to pay for it.
They said he stole it from his account because he had access to his banking information. That's the sell. They have nothing, not one single shred of evidence that Ohtani ever talked to the bookie because he can't communicate with the bookie because he doesn't speak English. That gives them the out to put everything on the interpreter so Ohtani skates away scot-free. It's as simple as that. They have zero evidence to tie Ohtani to the bookie.
But
it's
here's
all
the thing.
through the interpreter. Go.
Okay, my question on that would be if this guy is taking the fall for Ohtani, why accuse him of theft? Why not just say I paid his debts for him because whatever. But why? Because now you're putting it where he may, if you're accusing him of theft, he could then say, well, screw it, if you're going to accuse me of theft, I'll spill the beans on you.
Yes, and how about if he sues and then they bring the bookie
Okay,
guy?
because the interpreter, you're talking about a $750 million contract in the face of baseball. If you don't think this interpreter is going to be taken care of for the rest of his life, are you guys that clueless?
I know, but yet I understand that. But why accuse him of the theft? What's the purpose of accusing him of theft?
Because you have to sell it as hard as you can sell it. And that's what they're selling to get people to buy so this will go away. So first it went to, yeah, I have a gambling problem, and he tried to help me out. Why theft has to come into it? Because I'm telling you, the amount went from $1 million. Now it's $4 million. When you're dealing with the amount of money that he's into this bookie for, they're not going to be able to keep that hush-hush. It's going to come out. It's a lot more than $10 million, and it's less than 25. Do the math. They got to sell it, and they got to keep selling it hard because they're not going to be able to cover this up.
And when you
So
say
now
they are
have to
selling
say
it,
he's so.
and when you say they are selling, you're talking about Major League Baseball sweeping this under the rug to protect their face.
Absolutely, with the help of Ohtani's people saying, listen, this is the way we're going to have to sell this. He stole the money. He took the money. Ohtani had no idea what he's doing. He's just concentrating on baseball. Everything was through the interpreter. It's Lee Harvey Oswald all over again. It's exactly what it is. And they just need it to go away. The problem is the number's too big. And what I said to my boy was, I said, well, the bookie made the biggest problem in the world was that when you have a client, he's starting to lose money, and he's down $1 million, you cut him off and collect your $1 million. You can't just let him go to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to whatever the final number is, which I know what the final number is, that you're never going to collect that. So you're just helping to collect half or a quarter of it, or you cut him a deal or whatever. But to my knowledge, it was never baseball or anything else. It was soccer and soccer only. That's what I've been told from the most reliable source in the world that got it firsthand.
Let me ask one more question. All right, so your bookie friend, okay, Bauer. How about, okay, so Bauer's like, oh, man, I'm not going to get my money. Well, how about if Bauer, well, I guess you can't because it's illegal gambling. It's not legal gambling. So I guess he couldn't, he couldn't take him to court and say he owes me this amount of money because it's illegal. Yeah.
Can't.
That's right,
It's
yeah.
the bookie, you basically you break his arm, break his leg, blow up his house, burn down his house.
Right, because
burn down
California,
his business, burn down his car.
California's not legal. It's not.
Absolutely.
They don't have.
It's all illegal.
Wow.
That's why.
Wow.
So that's the truth. It's all Ohtani and his interpreters, Lee Harvey Oswald, and that's the 100% true story. Now they can spin it any way they want. They can continue to spin it to the American people and to the public. But I'm telling you, that little timid 5'4" sushi chef interpreter from Benihana's is not the one that was gambling and stole money and ran up this bill and yada, yada, yada. It's the biggest cover-up since whenever, and this is the way they're selling it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Lang with the story, the scoop.
So how's your bracket?
Yes, my bracket's good. Had Oregon yesterday, big. Had, what was the 11 seed that won early? Had Duquesne. Had Duquesne over BYU. Had who else I have? And then today I got James Madison. I have UAB, and I have Colorado.
Oh, you do have UAB.
3.
Okay.
And I have New Mexico. So so there we go. You're going to have 11. You're going to have a 12. Somebody's going to win. So, there we go.
You think you're going to get it? So you think the 11s are going to go 4-0? Well, again, and New Mexico's favored in their game, so theirs a little different. But that would make the 11 seeds 4-0.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's the same as Oregon yesterday. Oregon was a 10 seed, laying 1.5 to a 7 seed.
No, they were 11.
So
they're 11.
When Vegas gives you that higher seed laying points, historically speaking, that higher seed covers the number. It just goes to show you that. Listen, Clemson should have never got in. And Virginia should have never got in. I'm a big proponent that Virginia was the most overrated piece of garbage in college basketball this year. Clemson loses to Boston College in the ACC opener by 20, and you reward them by putting them in. Seton Hall beats the overall number 1 seed by 15 points and had 13 wins in the conference. That right there puts you in. No question that. Regardless of if you can knock off the number 1 overall seed.
Brandon, we're losing you.
Yeah, we lost.
We're losing you, my friend.
Zach, check on him. See what.
Not only putting
I think Shohei's people just got his phone.
Not only did they put in Clemson, Clemson's a 6 seed. I got to ask him if he likes UAB straight up or UAB with the points. Because UAB is a 6.5 point dog.
Good now?
To San Diego State.
All right, let's bring. All right.
So,
you there, Brandon?
Okay, now we got you.
Yeah, so Seton Hall deserved to be in. So much like me going against Virginia, I'm going against Clemson today. I don't think Clemson deserves to be there. So it's four games today. UAB, Colorado, James Madison, and New Mexico are 4 for your listeners.
Love your Clemson. Love your UAB. You talking about UAB with the points or UAB straight up?
Put the points. Listen, I always take the points and then half of whatever. If you put 500 on UAB plus the points, then you take half that, bet them on the money line.
Gotcha.
What's your Final Four?
UConn, Marquette. I have Creighton in there.
So do I.
But now that I've watched Oregon play, they're a very dangerous team.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty darn good. I mean, they got some horses. Altman's got them playing great. I think Creighton could be in some trouble on Saturday. You know, I saw Oregon play in the Pac-12 tournament, and they looked good. And I had them over South Carolina, but then I really watched them play yesterday. Dante in the middle against Falkbrenner or whatever that guy is. I can't even pronounce his name. And Hulkbrenner or Brickbrenner or whatever.
Hulk.
And then that freshman who plays alongside him is an athlete. Their guard. And if you take the 3-point away, Creighton's had some bad losses this year. They went to UNLV and lost. They went to Providence and lost. They've had bad losses. And they're facing a very, very well-coached athletic team that if you take Falkbrenner away in the middle, they struggle. And I think laying 5.5 on Saturday, I think that's just way too many to get to Oregon.
So you got UConn, Marquette,
Creighton, and I
you
think
can tell you're moving to New York, Mr. Big East. You become Mr. Big East all of a sudden. You're going to move to New York, you become Mr. Big East.
And I have UConn winning it all. I just don't.
So do I.
Who'd you say your fourth one was?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Out of the West.
Let me go.
Carolina, Arizona,
North Carolina.
Okay.
Connecticut beats North Carolina. Marquette beats Creighton, and you get a rematch of Marquette and UConn with UConn winning it all.
He's going to be hanging out at the Big East tournament every year now that he's in
New
York.
Listen,
He's Mr. Big East.
My girl loves sports.
He's become Mr. Big East.
I said this to you guys before, to meet someone who just dives into my business and wants it. She was in meetings yesterday. She had a real stressful day at work, and she's going from meeting to meeting. Like I said, she works for $1 billion commercial real estate company. And in the middle of all these meetings, she texts me and says, "Hey, running from meetings to meeting, super, super busy, thinking about you, and I know your game's about to start. Good luck." I mean,
It's
really?
Nice. Yeah.
How great is
Look
that?
at
So
you.
anyway.
All right, again, one more time. Give me your 4 picks for today.
UAB, Colorado, James Madison, and New Mexico.
He is Brandon Lang, the one and only. We'll talk to you next Friday.
All right, guys.
Thanks now. How about that Shohei story? And it's not outlandish. It's not some crazy cockamamie story because I've heard, bits and pieces from other people, not like factual stuff, but what they think could have happened, and it's along those lines. Man, that's wild. Well, folks, it's Chevy truck season. All the Silverados you want are in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. Come get any new Silverado you want with financing down to 0.09. That's 0.09 because your good credit deserves it. Trailblazers, Equinox with 1.9% financing. No payments for 90 days. Families love the new Suburbans. You can do much more together as a family in that beautiful vehicle. Where are you going for Easter? How about this summer? What are you driving? Military, teachers, college students, healthcare workers, you get an extra $500 bonus when you purchase a vehicle from All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. You want pre-owned? Everything you want is here. All the Jeeps and Ram trucks. Come drive the Yukon Denali, the Traverse with that third-row seating. If it's not there, ask Jeff or Kevin. They'll find it for you at All-Star Chevrolet of Olive Branch. Kevin and Jeff, everyone at All-Star Chevy, asked me to wish you guys a happy spring, happy Easter, and, of course, a happy summer. Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah, not Bartlett or Collierville. It has to be Olive Branch. Go to All-Star Chevy today or go to allstarautogroup.com.
So that would be UAB plus 6.5, James Madison plus 5.5, Colorado plus 1.5, and then New Mexico, again, despite being the 11th seed, they are the favorite in the game at FedEx Forum tonight. That would be them minus 2.5. Those are the current lines on those games as far as Brandon's picks are concerned. So 3 dogs, 1 favorite, but the favorite is the 11 seed over a 6.
All right, when we come back, let's play 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. You can jump on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines right now at 901-360-8255. That's next. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
When the weather gets better, I found a new place to really soak it in. It's the patio at the Commissary in Collierville. We all love the delicious Memphis-style barbecues. You can begin your barbecue fest with some great appetizers like the cheese plate or the tamales or the barbecue nachos. Oh, those smoked chicken wings, they're terrific too. Then dig into the ribs or the barbecue shoulder. Get it chopped or pulled on a sandwich. A big sandwich, or you can get it on a plate. You've got choice, and you've got choice in places. Don't forget the Germantown Commissary as well. Comes with beans and slaw, deviled eggs they're famous for. And Brad, you can even order by the pound, a 6-pack or an 8-pack or even a 12-pack. The Boss Man salad, the chicken plate, the barbecue shrimp. There's something for everybody, and those great desserts. The best icebox lemon pie anywhere. Or my favorite, the banana pudding. Check out the patio, TVs for sports, and music on the weekends. You love the Commissary.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5-Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Hey Mid-South, it's springtime, so let's celebrate with the Gossett Mitsubishi Motor Spring Sales Event. Time to go spring breaking with 43 MPG Highway. Do it right with 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett for only $19,110 or $259 a month. Go your own way in style with 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett $30,150 or $449 a month. Or hit the road in 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE $36,165 or $399.99 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, and 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Mirage RH 006614 MSRP 1916 Eclipse RZO 32749 MSRP 30650 Outlander RZO 12807 MSRP 36165 includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry, and they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Bartlett Small Engine has free pickup and delivery both at your home and curbside for lawnmowers, blowers, edgers, and any small engine. Call 901-386-9779.
Napa Cafe celebrates 26 years in 2024. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner. Maybe start with an appetizer like our baked sweet piquilla peppers stuffed with goat cheese and mozzarella, finished with basil pistou, and move on to one of our cozy dishes like the double chocolate stout braised boneless beef short ribs with tonkatsu sauce and creamy mashed potatoes, or a fresh seafood dish like our pan-roasted ginger buttered sea bass with cilantro soy vinaigrette. I get hungry just talking about it. Don't forget about dessert, our famous sweet buttermilk pie with brown sugar sauce, or drink your dessert with one of our signature dessert cocktails, like the lemon cheesecake martini, lemony, icy, frothy, and dusted with graham cracker crumbs. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe. We can't wait to serve you.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Good morning.
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back here in the Family Leisure Studios. By the way, for those Tennessee fans out there, we have Ole Miss Tennessee baseball this week. It should be a good series over in Knoxville. We will have those games for you right here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM. Tonight's game, first pitch at 5:30, pregame at 5 o'clock. So we'll have that coming up for you coming up later on today. And then, of course, tomorrow and Sunday as well. We'll have all three games from that Ole Miss Tennessee baseball series going on this weekend. Speaking of Tennessee, UTJ and the entire gang over at Classic Arms. That is your place when you are looking for guns, when you're looking for ammo, gun supplies, accessories, whatever. The folks at Classic Arms have you taken care of. Buy, sell, trade, new, used, whatever it is you're looking for. They've got it. Over 700 firearms in stock over at Classic Arms. They're at 1740 Germantown Parkway. It's right behind Corky's. They're in Cordova. You can also find them online and shop online 24/7 at classicarmsofmemphis.com. They've got all the top names, guaranteed lowest price. They're the only gun importer here in the Mid-South. They do free gun inspections, free gun appraisals. They do it all. When it comes to guns, they're the experts. They're the people to see. Classic Arms, again, 1740 Germantown Parkway, or online at classicarmsofmemphis.com.
Time now for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
It's 10 in a row. It's the game show that has swept the nation. If you'd like to participate, jump on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines right now at 901-360-8255. 10 in a row is presented each and every week by the Owner's Box. This is a perfect time to experience the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill for the very first time today, tomorrow, or Sunday during the NCAA tournament with games galore. It's located in the Lakeland Town Square. Fun, exciting, friendly, wall-to-wall TVs. I mean wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, all over-the-wall taps for all your favorite beers, including non-alcoholic and local craft beers. And in front of the wall, a full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. Plus, they have an upscale menu, and I mean terrific menu for lunch or for dinner. Lunch served Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. So do yourself a favor. Head on out to Lakeland today. Have some lunch. Watch the games at the Owner's Box. Everything from delicious wings to quesadillas. You can get the half club sandwich with the super fries, cheeseburger sliders, meatball sliders, grilled chicken salads. Again, upscale dining at the Owner's Box. Patio seating, specials and events that you can participate in, daily specials. And again, if you're looking for that right place, you haven't really found it. There's a couple of sports bars that, I'm not so sure about them. They have everything because they combine all of it for you at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Check them out today. All right, here is the question for 10 in a row. You got me going on this one because we were talking about the White Sox Stadium and how you thought it was a piece of crap. So I said, yeah, it's going to happen.
Top 10 worst stadiums in baseball.
So there you go. No, but how about baseball stadiums? Real names of current Major League Baseball stadiums. Real names of Major League Baseball stadiums. So these are current. These are real names. So the sponsorship's included. If it has a sponsorship, it may not. And there may be some names that sound familiar, but they're probably stadiums for other sporting events. Real names of current Major League Baseball stadiums. If you get 10 in a row, you win
a $25 gift certificate to the Owner's Box. Got a $50 gift certificate to Napa Cafe. Plus a couple of free haircuts from Supercuts and a couple of Malco movie passes.
All right, we do have some open lines. Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines are available to you at 901-360-8255. 888-203-1055.
First up is Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, guys. I thought y'all were about to do a political thing because, Mr. Flynn and the Lee Harvey Oswald, I thought you were about to pull it. The following statement is not a reflection of Flynn Broadcasting and its subsidiaries.
I had to cut him off there. I'm like, oh, God, don't get in the whole Oswald and JFK. I don't want to go down that road. First of all, we don't have time.
He's your Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so real names of current Major League Baseball stadiums. PNC Park.
Yeah.
American Family Field.
Yeah.
Bank of America Stadium.
No.
Chase Field.
Yeah.
Globe Life Field.
Yes.
Weight Watchers Anaheim Stadium.
What? No.
Oracle Park.
Yeah.
Petco Park.
Yeah.
Northern Trust Field.
No.
Verizon Park.
No.
Joseph! Boom, out of the park. 450-foot dinger right there. You are back.
There you go, Joe. Congratulations. You are a winner. Hold on.
And that's why sometimes it pays to be first. Get in line. Don't delay. Don't wait around.
Joe's the GOAT.
We got a whole second list. You doing anything with it?
I'll give Dave and Steven a shot.
Okay.
I'm feeling nice today.
All right.
It's NCAA tournament
Hey,
week.
Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Doing good. All right. You got no help from anybody because Joe hit it out of the park, list one. So here we go. List two. Real names of current Major League Baseball stadiums. Rogers Center.
No.
One more. Steve-O.
Steven is the last shot.
Hey, Steven.
Hey, guys.
Glory's last shot.
Glory's last shot. Rogers Center.
Yes.
Sunkissed Stadium.
Yes.
That's it. No second. No second chance winner, unfortunately. Eli, after Rogers Center, Sunkissed Stadium.
No.
Truist Park.
Yes.
Lone Depot Park.
No.
That's a yes. It's the Marlins. Amway Ballpark.
No.
Citi Field.
Yes.
Comerica Park.
Yes.
Progressive Field.
Yes.
Comcast Stadium.
No.
Coors Field.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have the ones that we use today. PNC Park. Who are they?
That's Pirates.
American Family Field. That's a tough one.
American Family is, I don't remember where that one is.
Is that Minnesota?
No.
I don't remember where American Family is.
It used to be, the sponsor of the stadium used to be a beer company.
Oh, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I went there, visited there several years ago. It was I had no idea it even changed. It's American Family Field, the Brewers. Chase Field?
That's Arizona.
That's correct. You should know this one from the World Series. Globe Life Field?
That's Texas.
Oracle Park?
Oracle is San Francisco.
Yep. Petco?
San Diego.
Rogers Center?
Toronto.
Truist Park?
Atlanta.
Lone Depot Park? I told you that was the Marlins.
Yeah, I could not have, and I just drove by that park not too long ago when I was down there, and I still wouldn't have been able to tell you what the name of it was. I thought it was Marlins Park still. I didn't think they had a sponsor yet.
Either did I. Citi Field?
Mets.
Comerica?
Tigers.
Progressive?
Progressive is Minnesota.
No.
No, Minnesota is
Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah. Minnesota is Target.
And this one's easy, Coors.
Coors is still Colorado, hanging on.
So which state, if you, right now, of stadiums you've never been to, you can visit one and only one. Which one is it? Which which stadium are you going to go visit?
Fenway.
Fenway?
Yeah.
See, Fenway would be for me as well.
If it's one of the newer parks, it would be Pittsburgh for sure.
Yeah, if it's a newer park, it's one of two. It's Pittsburgh, which I think has been voted the most beautiful park, or Oracle in San Francisco. The problem is, and I've been to San Francisco, but right now in San Francisco, holy smokes, is it
My
a
brother,
mess?
he stays in Atlanta, so he's been out to Truist Park.
Yeah, I
a few
haven't.
times.
I have. I've not been there. I don't really care to be there unless the Phillies are playing the Braves and beating them. But no, I think it would be. I'm with Eli. I think it would be Pittsburgh for the moderns, and for the old timers, certainly it would be Fenway. I've been to Wrigley, and yeah, there's a bunch of stadiums I haven't been to. I'd love to be able to see them before I leave this earth.
Wrigley's still the best.
Yeah, that gum is terrific. Except it loses its taste pretty quickly. Oh, you're talking about stadiums. All right. That's your gum.
It's heaven on earth. The gum is good, too.
No, it's fun. It's I've enjoyed it. I've been there now a couple times, so really enjoyed it.
Moving can be stressful, folks, but when you get the professionals to help you, that takes a lot of that stress and worries out of the process for you. And Black Tie Moving is there to be that professional company that you need to take care of that stress, to take care of that move for you. Whether you're moving across town or across country, talk to the folks at Black Tie Moving. Maybe it's your home, maybe it's your office, whatever it is that you need to move, they're there to help. And when you talk with them, they work with you, coming up with a plan that's exactly what you need from them, fitting your needs, and also, importantly, fitting your budget. And you will get a no-obligation quote up front so you know exactly what it's going to cost. 901-316-6196 is the phone number. 901-316-6196. That's the phone number. You can also go to the website at blacktiemoving.com/Memphis and talk to the folks at Black Tie Moving. Again, the quote, you're going to give a no obligation quote up front so you know exactly what you're getting into. Throughout the move, well, you've got a moving concierge available to you to answer any questions that might come up. They're there 24/7 for you. Take the stress, take the worry out of the process of moving. Get the professionals to help you. Black Tie Moving.
Carnage day one as far as the NCAA tournament and brackets are concerned, just like it was last year. ESPN has a lot of brackets that people do. I'll tell you how many people are still alive after just one day of the tournament when we come back. Plus, Notre Dame says goodbye to a very familiar face. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Hey, this is Eli Savoy, and I've got a question for you. Who wants to pay full retail for a pre-owned car or truck when you can buy it at wholesale? Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, right off Covington Pike, has an unlimited selection of super sharp pre-owned cars and trucks you can buy at the wholesale price. And right now, you can use your tax refund as all or part of a down payment and still just pay the wholesale price. Chevy Silverados, F-150s and Ram trucks, Tahoes, Explorers, Jeep Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, Renegades, a Cadillac SRX, Camaros, Mustang convertible, Hyundais. Check it out. Go to wucars.com or Google Wholesale Unlimited Memphis. This is great. Your money goes a long way when you can buy at the wholesale price, and tax refund time makes it even better. Go to Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, just off Covington Pike, with guaranteed approval. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports 56, and you can thank me later.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's barbecue.
Hi, this is Jimmy Stovall with Corky's Barbecue. We have been serving up our legendary barbecue for more than 39 years, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Whether you're dining in, picking up in our drive-thru, or serving our famous barbecue at your office or home, with Corky's Party Pack, you are the hit of the party. Barbecue pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, barbecue sauce, and buns, starting at only $8.49 per person. And as you know, we send plenty of food. You never have to worry about running out with Corky.
Uncorked flavor, Corky's barbecue.
Hi, this is Jimmy Stovall with Corky's Barbecue. We have been serving up our legendary barbecue for more than 39 years, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Whether you're dining in, picking up in our drive-thru, or serving our famous barbecue at your office or home, with Corky's Party Pack, you are the hit of the party. Barbecue pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, barbecue sauce, and buns, starting at only $8.49 per person. And as you know, we send plenty of food. You never have to worry about running out with Corky.
Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury timepiece is coming to Genesis Diamonds.
This Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Genesis is hosting an epic pre-owned luxury Rolex event featuring a stunning new selection of these hard-to-find watches. Hulks, Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, all the hottest models that people wait years for. These are carefully chosen timepieces in pristine condition. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and zero-interest financing. And listen to this. With the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a beautiful pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings free. That's a $4,000 value. Also for this event, our pre-owned Rolex buyers are on site offering top dollar for your Rolex. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of our special financing and get a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings free. It's this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes. Poplar and Perkins Extended. While supplies last, see store for details.
The 75th anniversary sales event is on at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, and we've got Rockin' Ronnie Smith ready to put you in your new V-Dub today.
That's right, Randy. 3 is your lucky number. 2024 Taos S, or a 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport. Your choice. $275.96 per month.
Plus, Gossett Volkswagen Germantown's got 2024 Atlas Cross Sport, $33,999. Plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Cross Sports, and 0 for 60 months on 24 Tiguans. But only at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
Come see me, Rockin' Ronnie Smith, and let me put you in your new V-Dub today.
Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or online, GossettVWG.com. All 36 monthly, 7,500 miles, 20 cents excess mileage. Cannot combine APR offer with 3,000 customer cash rebate. House RMO 53314, MSRP 26063, Tiguan RM 003120, MSRP 30,026, Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506, Cross RC 23156, MSRP 38998. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings. Morning. On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
There was a record 22.6 million brackets filled out for ESPN's Tournament Challenge Brackets contest. 22.6 million, including one from yours truly. One. I'm sure there's people out there that fill out 30 of them because you can do multiple. I do one, then I do one for us here in the office. That's it. And that's why I'm probably out day one every year. I don't do multiples. Maybe I should. But out of the 22.6 million brackets that were filled out, only 1,825 remained perfect after the first full day, 16 games, of the 24 Big Dance. 1,600, make that 1,825 out of 22.6 million. Last year, I remember the carnage. The carnage has already begun this year. Probably after today, there'll be no brackets.
Bijan Robinson's bracket is perfect still.
Where did that come from? How you know that?
He had it
just
on,
posted?
He had it on somewhere. I don't know where it was.
Did he show it? Did he prove it? Damn, that's... you think about the upsets yesterday.
So I'm assuming if the Falcons have a team pool, he's leading.
He's doing okay. He's probably doing okay. But again, what are you going to do today? 16 more games. Now, you come out of the first 2 days, the first 2 rounds, 32 games, unblemished. That's impressive to me. That would be extremely impressive. But we had a number of upsets yesterday. As we talked about, we had 3 number 11s knock off number 6s, 3 of them. And then a good chance today, as New Mexico will go in the higher seed, but the favorite against Clemson, playing here in Memphis, the 11, Clemson, the 6. Again, the action starts here in Memphis at 11:40 with Baylor and Colgate. Then at 2:10 or around 2:10, New Mexico and Clemson. Texas A&M and Nebraska will open up the evening session at FedEx Forum, followed by Longwood and Houston at 8:20.
Yeah, the entire first wave of games, Northwestern and Florida Atlantic, my boy Boo Buie and company.
You like yourself some Boo Buie, don't you?
11:15. Then the Colgate Baylor game here in Memphis is the second game of the day. UAB San Diego State is at 12:45. Western Kentucky and Marquette is at 1 o'clock. 1:45 or thereabouts. Stetson against Connecticut. Then you got New Mexico, Clemson here in Memphis, Yale and Auburn at 3:15, and then Colorado, Florida at 3:30 rounds out the daytime sessions at the sites around the country. And then, of course, you'll have 2 games at all of the various sites in the night session, as well as games will go, I'm sure, again till like that last night. That Kansas game ended about midnight or so.
I tried to go to bed and I had
it was just before midnight.
I tried to go to bed. I'm like, I can't do it. I pull out my phone. I'm in the dark looking at my phone, trying to keep up with it. I mean, it's just crazy. So of the number ones that you talked about, Houston, Purdue, Connecticut, heavy favorites. Who has the easiest win as far as point differential?
I think Houston. I mean, Longwood might only score like 20 points against Houston.
And that's 23.5, I think, the
I'm
spread.
not sure what the
somewhere in
line
that
is.
neighborhood. Yeah, it's going to be really, really tough for them to score.
I don't think any of them will struggle, though. I don't think for all those that think Purdue might happen 2 years in a row. I don't think that's going to happen. Purdue is a 27.5 point favorite. Houston is 23.5. UConn is 26.5. So Houston's actually the smallest favorite of the 3.
Will we have another Jack Golke story? Maybe not to that extent, but will we have another one of those today?
I'm sure we'll have some incredible performances. You had a triple-double yesterday, a 40-point game, and a guy making 10 threes off the bench. I'm sure there will be some other crazy stuff that happens today.
Locals certainly know this. So this is a message for locals, but also for visitors to Memphis, especially visitors for the first time. We're known for our barbecue. And there are a lot of terrific barbecue restaurants out there. I'm not going to lie. But one of my favorites is, of course, Corky's Ribs and Barbecue with their 4 locations. So if you're here, you're listening, you're thinking about lunch, thinking about dinner, thinking about what you're going to do this weekend, think Corky's, Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. You can dine in at any of those 4 establishments. Also, you can pick up the food, no contact delivery through the drive-thru. Have them delivered to your home or office. They have specialized in catering for 4 decades. They've been around that long. They've been catering that long. So for all you locals out there, you got an event coming up this spring, this summer. Think Corky's. $8.99 per person is what they'll start you out at. As low as $8.99 per person for that delicious slow-smoked barbecue. Are you kidding me? They have lunch specials every day, party packs that start at just $7.49. And don't forget to reserve their private party room at either the Cordova or the Olive Branch locations. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, a Memphis tradition, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week.
What I hope we don't have today is a game that has a horrendous call at the end of it again, that becomes the thing. Because I mean, it's certainly you don't want to see a game end like that and be decided like that. So hopefully we don't have any of those where a horrendous call costs a team an opportunity to pull off the big upset.
I think because it happened so late and it was the last game and a lot of people didn't see it, it's not getting the buzz that probably it deserves, but also that you had the Sanford coach who downplayed the officials' mistake as that being the reason why they lost. He took the high road. So maybe we'll have more of that later today, but probably not, because games are going to be starting later this morning and people are going to be talking about what's happening today. But yeah, that was rough, but it was the last game. If it was earlier in the day, probably would have had more conversation about it.
And they have, we have to figure out, to me, give the coaches a challenge. Give them 2 challenges. We cannot continue to, every time the ball goes out of bounds in the final 2 minutes of a game, review the play to see, 1, who touched it last, and 2, where the clock should be. It's insane. It literally, if the ball goes out of bounds the last 2 minutes of a game now, there's about a 90% chance the officials are going to review it for either to see who touched it or to see if the clock is correct. The last 2 minutes of these college games could take 35 minutes.
I want to know what the numbers are for the length of games this season, how much it's gone up, because it has to have gone up, because not only do they do that, but now any kind of physical play that has anything to do with the neck area, the face, they're going to the monitor every single time. You're talking about 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a game. Plus what you just talked about, if that's happening at the end of a game, who knocked it out of bounds? We have to be lengthening games by 5 minutes on average.
Was it the Kansas game? I mean, literally, there was like 5 reviews in the matter of literally about 30 seconds going off the game clock. They had to review it, I think, 5 times.
Right.
To make sure the clock was correct. By the way, Marcus Damask had the triple-double yesterday. Do you know who the last triple-double was of the tournament before him?
What year are we talking?
Not that long ago.
Was it Garza? Luca?
No. Zach, do you know?
Is it your boy Boo Booey?
No. There's a good reason why I would ask this question here in Memphis.
Oh. Wait, was it last year?
No.
Okay. Who? Oh, you got me puzzled now. Who?
Ja Morant.
Oh, gosh. I'm thinking of a Tiger. I'm not thinking John Morant. Okay. Wow. How about that?
Ja was the last triple-double before yesterday.
That's when I just completely fell in love with John Morant. That tournament, that run with Murray State.
So much so you didn't remember it.
Well, no, I didn't remember. Well, my memory shot. That's why I didn't. Plus, I was starting to think Tigers. I'm like, Tigers, triple-double. I didn't think Ja.
Yeah, I was thinking Houston. Like, did one of the Houston players get a triple-double?
Right. Then I started thinking Florida Atlantic last year against Memphis. No, that didn't happen.
Deke Giroux had a triple-double, not in the NCAA tournament, but in the American Athletic Conference tournament. Deke Giroux had a triple-double.
Wow, how about that? Big news. Notre Dame AD Jack Swarbrick retiring this week after 15 years. This was one of his quotes as he was asked about this. I feel so bad about how it's messed up right now. We got Saban stepping down. We got others stepping. Jack Swarbrick. Interesting to see where Notre Dame goes for the future, but as long as they have that contract with the NBC, they ain't going anywhere as far as the conference.
Don't forget, folks, going on today and tomorrow. It started yesterday and it goes through tomorrow. It's the big Rolex event happening over at Genesis Diamonds. The pre-owned luxury Rolex event is going on right now with special pricing, 0% financing. And when you buy a pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings absolutely free. That's right, absolutely free, a $4,000 value. Get on over there today or tomorrow to Genesis Diamonds. Check out the amazing selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches that they have. Also, if you're looking maybe to sell one or trade one, they'll do that as well. For this event, their pre-owned Rolex buyers are on site offering top dollar for your Rolex. Genesis Diamonds, today and tomorrow, their epic pre-owned Rolex luxury event at Poplar and Perkins Extended, Genesis Diamonds.
Everybody enjoy the tournament here in Memphis. For those of you from out of town listening, enjoy Memphis, have fun. We'll be back on Monday to talk about everything that happens over the weekend or happened over the weekend in the world of sports. In particular, the NCAA tournament. The Grizzlies back in action. They'll play tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. Again, we'll discuss all this, all the sports happenings, starting bright and early Monday morning at 7 a.m.
And for all the people in Memphis, for the visitors that are in town, don't break into their cars.
Thank you. This public service announcement
leave their cars
is brought
alone.
to you by Well Known Friends on Sports 56 is coming up next. For Eli Savoy and Zach Boyd, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great weekend, everyone.